So,
We back.
so
We back.
Hey, it sounded like a. Sorry about that. Sounded like a remix.
We can go with that. I'm with that.
It's your boy Nate Hustle here. Gotta be seen, gotta be heard.
Kayla here,
and Tom.
and I just want to start off. We weren't here last week. It was Mommy's Day, and
Mama.
yeah, it was Mother's Day, and our mom kind of wanted us to just kind of spend the day with her, and she just wanted just all of us to be together. So we dedicated the day to her. It happened to fall on Sunday, so
Which was cool because we did like a seafood boil.
facts, yo. That seafood
That
bowl was
seafood was
fire.
amazing.
Like it was like when people put food and all they fixings in like a bag and you made it was fire.
Yo,
Like
we gotta do
I
that.
never had a
soon.
seafood boil before.
it's
Bro,
really
we gotta do that on podcast one day.
facts.
It was
Yeah.
amazing. And we did our own seasoning. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
did it ourselves.
Everybody had their own like level of spice or however they wanted to do it. So
Everybody's tasted different. But it was
yeah. We had what do we had? We had crawfish. Well, some of us had crawfish. We had snow crab legs,
Oh Lord.
sausage, corn,
lobster tail,
potato, little lobster tails. Me and my
Lord.
father, shrimp. We had king crab. It was lit.
It was amazing.
It was great.
Lord.
Like my eyes are definitely bigger than my stomach because I swore I was gonna finish it and it took me
It
two
tastes
days.
better than like y'all cooking it here or whatever, wherever y'all got. Y'all cooking it is like way better than going to like a restaurant.
For sure. For
And
sure.
it was probably more too. So.
Yeah, I feel like you get more if you make it yourself because you're paying for other things when you go to a restaurant rather than just paying for what you
When
want.
do y'all break out for eating too much crab?
Never happened.
I've seen people like stop breaking out. I've seen somebody literally look me dead in my eyes and start breaking out and be like, "Yeah, I'm allergic." Stuff in their face.
I've seen that too. People be allergic to food and still eat it.
I mean, the same thing people with lactose intolerant. They don't be
Yeah, they still
caring.
drinking milk. Yeah. I guess it depends on how severe it is. Like some
True.
people's throat close up, but some
Yeah.
people just break out, so they'll still eat it.
Yeah.
I literally had somebody tell me, "Look, if I fall on the floor, check on me first.
I'm never going out with that person.
Don't assume that it's going down. Check
They
if I'm
say,
breathing. If
they
I'm
say
breathing, let me-
give me mouth to mouth.
Even if your life
But
is on
the
the
person
line.
I am talking about, I wouldn't mind that. I'm not gonna take it out. You know?
So even if your life was on the line,
That
and
person
you
who
had,
told me
like,
that. You know?
So if your life was on the line and it was a guy, you wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so
Oh yeah. Mouth me down.
Okay.
That's a
Good
wrap.
thing. Mouth me down.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay.
Just don't do it. It's not rough. You know?
There's requirements
Save my
if
life.
you want to save his life.
Save my life. You know, you gotta. You're rough. You know what I'm saying?
Tender love and care into
Don't
it.
put no tongue in it.
I don't think that's I don't think that's necessary.
What if it was necessary?
There's
I
no
don't-
reason
What if
for
it was
any
necessary?
circumstance for that to
What
be
if it was
necessary.
What if it just wasn't working?
Then just let me go.
It is.
No.
Nah, let me go.
I had to do it.
Let me go.
If it ain't working, tongue ain't gonna help.
Nah, what I gonna do?
I
It ain't gonna help. Yeah.
Saying hypothetically, I never thought about this stuff.
Never. I mean, well, what we talking about? Somebody sticking their tongue in your mouth? Or
No, I'm talking about
mouth to mouth?
I'm talking about like mouth to mouth CPR. Like,
Yeah, nah, of course.
like they might have to use little tongue
They're
action.
not gonna have
I've
to.
never heard them.
And I've never seen an instructor say use your tongue. I'm good. Let me go.
I've never heard that.
Let me go.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. But anyway,
Hope I don't have to do CPR on nobody.
I hope not.
I hope with tongue. That's so not necessary, like at all. But
Anyway,
I wanted to. We got a lot of topics to talk about, and we're gonna start with music and move to sports because they get very passionate about sports. So
And there's a lot to cover. It's been a busy week.
it has.
all I want to say
Very
is
busy.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
DJ Khaled came out with an
Yeah.
album.
Yo, can I be honest about this album? I didn't even hear the album completely. I maybe heard two or three songs.
I
I
have
really just wanted to hear one song for months now.
about 40 times.
And I had when that song with Nipsey came on, cause that's a song. Yeah, we gonna get into. Man, I felt this song is spiritual on so many levels. First of all, John Legend's vocals sends
Like,
chills.
in the
All the
video, it looks like Nip just knew, like, this is like my goodbye video.
He looked angelic on that video. I ain't gonna hold you.
He was lightened up, wearing all blue. He wore the same outfit the whole time. Like, I thought that was dope.
He had the Puma joint on too.
Oh, yeah.
That Puma fit is fire.
Yo,
That Puma fit is fire, man.
definitely caught me a Puma fit. Shout out to Nip.
Puma doing big things. That Puma fit is fire.
Nah, Crenshaw. I need to get that Crenshaw.
All right, so I'm kind of pissed off. I'm kind of pissed off with that right now. I ordered a Crenshaw dad hat and I ordered a hoodie, and my order got canceled. Now I know that there's been a lot of craziness going on with the orders and everything. I know it's been backed up, but man, I was upset because I had to wait this whole time and I thought it was coming eventually. But it is what it is. I'm just ordering it again.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I got the notification a couple of days ago. I was mad excited. I was like, yeah, it's coming soon. They canceled it. So, yeah, gotta get it again.
Well, at least, they canceled and gave you your money, but you can always.
Yeah, they sent it
Yeah,
back, so I'm
that's-
gonna just have to buy it again.
I feel like it's not terrible. It's just a waiting
It's just a
game
wait
at
game.
this point. Yeah. Okay.
But no, the video, man. All right, so I want to jump deep into that video because there was some shots that I seen that I thought was incredible. There was a shot where his boys is standing. I'm assuming that's his block. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
That's his block?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's near Crenshaw.
All right, so there's a shot where they're all standing there and they're panning directly towards Nip in the back, and he has his back turned towards him.
Oh yeah.
Man, that shot is beautiful. It's kind of, it's like his spirit is still in the hood. That's what the shot kind of represented for me. Like his spirit is still in the hood, unbeknownst to his boys. Like they don't know because their back is turned towards him, and he's right there with his back turned towards them. Like I'm like, yo, you really couldn't watch that video and not have tears in your eyes because
Yeah, it was deep.
of how beautiful it was shot. And hearing John's vocals in the back, you keep taking me higher and higher. The gospel feel to that whole song.
Yeah. Hi, Edward. Edward's in chat.
Oh, Edward's back in here. What up, E?
Facts. But no, it was a beautiful video.
Video.
Like,
It was the perfect goodbye.
yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying.
I couldn't even think of a better song to put out. You know what it reminded me of when Pac passed and songs like Dear Mama came out where he was gone and you knew he was gone, but you kind of felt his presence still through his music that was coming out after he passed.
I feel like a lot of artists that happens,
Like X last year
yeah.
when he dropped that video for what was it, Changes? What was the song? Where he was showing himself
Self
in the casket.
Yeah, that was
That was chilling
crazy
too.
at first.
That was chilling though.
That was wild at first.
Like Pac's Hail Mary,
Yeah.
all that feel is what I got from watching this higher video with Nipsey.
But also just like the view of videos, like even can we say Aaliyah?
Who?
Aaliyah? Cause I mean, not like her. It wasn't a goodbye type thing.
Yeah,
I'm talking
I
about the view of the videos, like the way that like a lot of videos when it's their last video seem very like angelic. Like if you look at Rock the Boat, 'cause that was her last video that she did.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like,
She did look
Didn't
angelic.
she
in that
die
scene.
on the way back from that shit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she did.
she did. That's a good point. I
But just like just a visual thing. I mean, yeah. I mean, like
sun was shining on her. She
yeah.
looked angelic,
So that's why I just thought it would be a good connection. But
Yeah, it was that type of brightness.
yeah,
There was even a shot in the video with Nipsey where the sun gleamed directly just on him. Oh man, I can't tell you. See, I'm a nerd for like YouTube videos, right? So I'm watching reaction videos. I want to know if I'm the only one that's getting this type of feel from the video, and it felt like it was universally felt. Like everybody felt the same spiritual event. You know, like we all kind of connected in that way. So I think Khaled, man, he did an amazing job with not just the song, but just pushing the product out. He's giving the proceeds all to his family,
yeah.
which is dope. Shout out to Khaled for that. You know, all their kids is gonna eat off that forever.
Oh.
You know what I did want? I'm sorry to cut you off. You know what I did want to hear? Just a little fanfare. I wanted to see. I wanted to hear that bit of Lauren saying the marathon continues at the funeral. I wanted to hear that at the end when they put the illustration of marathon continues. It doesn't diminish the song in no way. From Lauren. Because that bit that she said at the funeral, when at the end of her speech she said, "And the marathon continues," I would love to hear that at the end of it. That would have sent chills down my spine.
That'd have been dope.
Nah, it's cool though. I mean, it doesn't take nothing away from the video. The video is still amazing. The song is inspirational. I had that on repeat, like Nate said. I'm gonna keep bumping it. Forever.
Oh, and now we're talking about Nipsey Hussle's video that he did with DJ KAYLA. That came out a few days ago. So, Friday. So, we was just comparing, you know, a lot of people's last music videos and, like, you know, how they look cinematically and all that jazz.
Did anybody get anything from it? Like anything else?
I mean, I know I should be looking at it, like, maybe, like, some people was trying to look at the lyrics and everything, but I was looking at it through a visual standpoint, like, really kind of biased to this visually. Like, I don't know. When I watch music videos, I do that a lot, even when it's not people's last music videos. That's just a thing for me personally. But I just think he looked really. Is it weird? You don't hear a lot of people call guys beautiful, and I know that's like crazy. Like, I feel like when you be like, oh, he's mad beautiful. Like, people usually say like handsome.
No, seriously, his energy, his whole aura was beautiful. It was angelic.
Yeah, that's why I like.
Sure.
There's no other word that I can really say. I feel like handsome is like, okay, but beautiful is a different level.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, good.
I don't want to cut you off. What I got from it is, again, a reminder that Nipsey just wasn't a regular rapper. Like, his presence, his just output on the culture and his influence he had, it just reminds you, like, he was a beautiful soul.
Human being. For sure. He definitely, I'm going to just piggyback over what he said. For sure. Just showed you that he was bigger than what his title was. For sure.
Yeah, people's true aura lingers even when they're not here.
Oh, there was a few lines in there that was kind of like, whoa. One line that he said when he was like, I'm seeing this lifestyle from a bird's view. Man, yo, it was moments like that hearing the song that I paused the song and just had to sit for a second. Cause I'm just, it's like when Pac used to make those songs posthumous, and he had certain lines in there. It was like, how could he say that? Like, he ain't here no more. They even made jokes about it in certain movies because it's like, how could he possibly say that? He's not here no more. But, you know, I just feel like when people have a certain mission in life and a certain purpose and a certain energy, like Nipsey came from a different type. His understanding came from a different dimension, in my opinion. Like, it didn't come from a common man's opinion or view of life. He was transcendent. Like, his viewpoint was transcendent. So I felt like it's only right that his music and his visuals reflected that, and that's exactly what this video did. So I appreciated the fact that that video completely captured what Nipsey was, because he gave you, and if you look at it in the first verse, he gave you him, he gave you his life, he gave you who he was, and in the second verse, he was talking that talk, like he was talking that talk, like. No, go ahead.
Another thing I like about it is he still brought it back to the hood and shot it in the hood. He brought DJ Khaled and John Legend to the hood.
Yeah.
I think.
But
other than Higher,
know exactly where he's going with that.
what is your favorite song on that CD?
It's either two songs. It's either the one with Cardi or the one with Chris Brown and Wayne.
And which one do you think is going to be? It's two questions. Which one you think, even if it's not your favorite, is going to be the biggest hit?
Outside of Higher, right?
Outside of Higher.
The Chris Brown record.
Yeah, I was gonna say Chris Brown too, but I would say
Did
Cardi
you
was
listen
my
to it?
favorite. I listened to most of it.
Most of it? Did you like any songs?
The one with Cardi, and is that biased? That's biased.
Nah,
Because it's just
Cardi,
like
Cardi.
no, it's just like that was the one that I just could bump with the most. But yeah, the one with Cardi.
I only heard the songs that they dropped visuals to. I didn't actually listen to the album yet. Like, whatever visuals he dropped, that's the songs I listened to. I think that was only like 6 maybe.
Cause
It's
it
like
was
15 songs.
it was like ones where it was like, oh, he did one with John. Oh, he did one with
It was cool seeing
yeah.
the features on it.
Right. That's what.
But that's what KAYLA's
gravitated.
known for.
Right.
Having
Yeah.
the features.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I listened to the CD probably like 40 times back to back to back to back to back. Right? There was one song I heard. My favorite song is probably, other than Higher, is probably like, I'm a real big Sean fan, so I like that Thank You song at the end. Cause I feel like he touches on a lot of stuff, and it's like, I just feel that. I can relate to it. But as far as like,
Not to cut you off, that's the song where it's just him on it, right?
Just him,
I heard that one too. All right, that was good.
and what's that song that's growing on it? What's her name? SZA? Yeah.
Oh,
That
SZA.
song is fire.
Like I didn't, when I first heard it, I was like, eh. Now I'm hearing it over and over. I'm like, yo,
that
that joint right here.
That
Yeah.
Outkast beat. I'm like,
That Outkast sample is crazy.
and I'm still like, when I hear the beat, I'm thinking, and it's hard to redo a beat that you know the song, like, and it was a hot song.
Yo.
So you're
Yeah.
thinking about that song, but the song she's doing is still fire.
Who did that? He did it on his last album, the song Maria with Rihanna. Wild Thoughts. Maria,
Oh,
Maria.
Maria.
Yeah, that was a smash.
But he
that
not
one on 2 Chainz album. I think he did a good.
Oh, the Anne Marie
Yeah,
joint.
I think
Yo.
that's dope.
That's my favorite song on his album, 2 Chainz. I think it's called Money something. Money in the Way. That's my song. That's what it's called, Money in the Way. I have Money in the Way, Higher. These are all songs on my repeat. Like, I like that inspirational type music. Like, but yeah, no, that was fire.
But I mean,
That's
also,
Yeah, Money in the Way. No, that.
It was
It's
Cat.
Rule the World. Rule the World. Ariana Grande.
Oh, you talking about that one? Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
were talking
the
about a
Anne
different.
Marie beat.
There was a different sample for Money in the Way, but yeah, no, that one with Ariana Grande is fire.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
But back to DJ Khaled.
I mean,
Wait,
Chris
was
does
2
it too. A lot.
Yeah, Chris
does-
does it a lot, but that's more so Hitmaker.
True.
That's more so Hitmaker because he links with Hitmaker and they love flipping samples from like old school 90s joints.
Facts. Cause he did it. He took Shani. Is that her name? For one of his recent songs that went good. Went to the top 10. Shanice. Is that her name? I'm not crazy.
I know what song you're talking about.
Jamaican girl?
I don't think she's Jamaican.
This is girl. I mean, I'm in love
She
with her.
she old school.
Shanice. Yeah.
I'm
I love your smile.
I love you.
your smile.
Yeah,
That's my joint. That's my joint.
I'm like, cause when I first heard it, I'm like, hold on a second, I'm not crazy.
That's my type of music.
So,
I love
but
that
then,
R&B 90s stuff, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, he flipped that crazy, but again, that's Hitmakers though.
right.
You know what song I didn't feel on that album? What? Maybe because I just don't. I really didn't like the one with Nas.
What song was that? I didn't hear it.
What's it called? What's it?
Well, from what I'm hearing, this album is a classic. From what I'm hearing, everybody's saying that this album is one of his best.
Won't Take My Soul. I really didn't like that. That's the only song I'm just like, you know.
I gotta.
But I love the one
sit
with
this album.
Jeezy,
I didn't hear
Rick
it.
Ross. Hard.
Didn't hear it.
Hard. I'm like, yo, Jeezy need to get back, man. Look, Rick Ross went hard on that.
Nah, but I was gonna say
But
something.
definitely a classic album. Definitely a classic album. Yeah, I gotta hear it like, oh my god.
I didn't hear the whole thing, but from what I've heard, it's
So
fire.
there was another drop that came out too. I didn't hear this album. I'm gonna listen to it tonight because all the girls on my timeline is going crazy.
That's all I'm bumping right now.
Meg the Stallion. First of all, I love her. First of all, I've been saying this for months now. I've been kind of late because I just got on her like 3 months ago.
No facts.
But
me
she's
too.
fire.
Me too.
I love Meg the
Yeah.
Stallion.
No, she's cool. I'm with
She's-
her.
Stallion?
Meg the Stallion.
The Stallion.
But she got so many names. She got Hot Girl,
Let me go
Tina
ahead and-
Snow. Meg is a beast, man.
Let's see.
I'm gonna say this because
Is
y'all
it like
know
Meg underscore?
I'm
Or-
dead.
as soon as you type in Meg,
Right
she
there.
gonna be number
He
one.
look at her
Is
for
this
right
the
now.
Stallion? The Stallion right
The
here?
Stallion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
All
be
right.
the judge.
Okay. Oh, perfect. So let me say what I'm gonna say about Meg, because this is something's going on with her right now between her and Wolf Tyler. But I'm gonna touch on that.
Oh man.
I'm gonna touch on it. But first, I want to say, I know I rep Cardi really hard, and I still love Cardi. But Meg is taking this game over.
She a rapper?
Yes. Meg is taking the game over. I haven't seen a movement like this. Whew, haven't seen a movement like this since Nicki in 09 with Beat Me Up Scotty. Like she has such a strong movement right now with the women, and she's pulling the men in too. We ain't seen nothing like this in a long time.
What makes you think she has such a pull with the women?
I look at the female.
Man.
I just look at what women say about her, and I'm just like, yo, I never seen this type of love since Nicki, bro. I know Cardi got love, but man,
no, it's true.
they really ride for Shorty, and she just came.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that she focuses on her education. Like, she's big on getting her degree. Like, she was going to school while rapping in Houston. Love and respect.
You actually like listen to her music?
Love it. I didn't hear this new album, but I heard the last one, Tina Snow, that she dropped, and I heard a few singles that she dropped this year. But I didn't get a chance to listen to this new one. But I'm gonna listen to Fever.
This guy. I listen to her singles.
Respect it.
No, facts, Edward.
Oh, you got
Nicki, I ain't gonna hold you. I was with Nicki in the beginning. She was fire, but she just not. Her flame is gone, honestly.
When
to
Nicki
me.
started wearing that pink fried chicken chain, I was off. Yeah, I was off.
But I don't think she was off just yet. That was really early. She was off. Musically, she was still good.
Legend.
Of course, no, we can't take that from her.
Facts.
Can't take it from her.
I mean, if Aaliyah was here, I'd be
Pissing on the flowers.
All right, so you know what I don't like? I can like somebody, but she was doing some bogus things. Like, she was wearing fried chicken chains. She was dressing up like Tokyo cosplay. Like, listen, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then she gave us super bass. I'm never gonna forget that.
Nicki, I love you.
Wait, you don't like
You want to have a one-on-one
I
interview?
hate.
You don't like
Super
Super Bass.
Wait, no. Which one is the one where
That
she's
was my
wearing
song.
gray
When I was working out,
hair in the beach?
Super bass.
That's super
Yeah,
bass,
that's
right?
Super Bass.
But that was my song.
I hate it.
That was my song.
I hate it. I hate that. I hate the
love it.
visuals. I hate everything about that
I
song.
feel like that was when she was
feel
plateauing,
like-
and then after that she started going down. But that wasn't a
She wanted to get her Katy Perry bag so bad,
And
and
she
she
did.
popped, and she garbage.
And she did.
She was high level garbage. Garbage.
High
Like, she
level
was-
bar.
He said garbage.
She was garbage.
High level bar.
And then, yo, you know what's crazy though? Cause she started coming after dang, what's her name? Lil Kim. When she first came in the game. How you gonna come after a legend, but then demand respect from the people coming after you?
And I thought that was whack because she.
I knew
Yeah.
when what's the name came home. I knew they was gonna get into it. Huh,
Her and
Remy?
Remy.
I knew Remy was gonna give her that fire. I knew she was gonna give it
I
to
knew
her.
it.
I knew it was gonna
Cause she was
happen.
talking. She was
Yeah.
doing too much of this.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
I
think I
bet.
didn't
Yeah.
like. Nicki did silence her though.
Who? She what?
Sheether. Sheether.
Silenced her?
Sheether.
Nicki silenced Remy?
Oh no, she did. Oh no, she
Cause she came
Negative.
out with that record.
Negative.
Fire, right?
Negative.
See, and then she had that thing taken down.
That's what you talking about?
She started like
Okay.
telling promoters like not to vote Remy and everything. That's why you don't be seeing her like that. And then she had to go online. I think it's online. One thing.
I don't
She had
see
to go online. and
Yes,
say sorry.
Edward, she
But
did. I was just about to say that.
She can't touch Remy.
She went online and said sorry to Nicki.
She can't touch Remy. She can't mess with Remy.
That's not defeat. Yo, first and foremost, let me say this about Remy, man. Let me just defend her for a second. Remy just beat some chick up, and they snitched on her. You really think Remy really want to start problems with people right now? Like, they trying to come after her, and I'm talking, when I say they, I mean law enforcement. Like, they trying to get her back in jail for beating chick up. If I'm Remy, I'm not, look, I'm gonna keep it on bars, only bars. And when it came to bars, where was Nicki?
She can't touch her with that.
Where was Nicki?
In terms
She
No.
dropped that song with her and Drake, where'd that
No,
go?
no contest. No contest.
She thought she made a power move by getting Nas to not sign off on the Sheetha record. She thought she really did something. It's like, but we still got the memory of that. Like,
Then she
you got
did
killed.
the Tatiana thing that she put out, and I was just like,
That ain't going nowhere. That ain't going nowhere.
That wasn't it.
And that helped Cardi because Cardi put a verse on the actual remix,
Right.
and it was fire.
Yeah.
But Nicki's was like, it wasn't whack. I never say Nicki has whack bars. but it just wasn't what I know she could
She
do.
has a lot
Yeah,
of
she
white
could do a
balls, I ain't
lot
gonna lie.
better. That's the disappointing part about it all.
She has a lot of white balls.
Every
but
rapper
she's
has white balls
entertaining.
every now and then.
It's
Like
fine.
balls that's just like regular, mediocre.
Mhm.
But I would never call Nicki whack. I just feel like
Except J. Cole.
except J. Cole. J. Cole never has a whack ball. J. Cole never puts a whack song out ever.
Ever.
Never says a
Never
whack
in life.
line ever.
If you think that, then you cannot be my friend. I'm sorry. Talking mixtape, J. Cole, and everything. But
Sorry, we was talking about something else.
Setting up some accounts.
But yeah.
they making moves, I guess.
Oh, I said I was gonna touch on the Wolf Tyler thing. All right, so
Who is that?
she's a I don't know.
She. Wow.
I did. Why you say it like
I
that?
don't know. Wolf Tyler sounds like a guy.
Nah, she got famous from
Is that her
Vine.
real name or just her
From
like stage?
Vine. That's where I knew her mom. Her real name is Tyler.
Yeah.
From Vine.
From Vine.
Yeah, she was on Vine.
She got
All right.
famous on Vine.
So she's kind of like a songwriter, singer, entertainer. I just say she's an entertainer.
Entertainer, yeah.
So apparently Juicy J
Yeah.
gave Meg a song or at least a beat for one of her songs on her album. Apparently Wolf Tyler is claiming living legend. Wolf Tyler apparently wrote the hook and the bridge to that song, right? Apparently. Meg is saying no, you didn't. Juicy J is saying I wrote the song. Then here comes Wolf with the receipts. She shows the messages between her and Juicy J's manager. And it says clearly, we want to give you pub for the hook. Because Juicy just sent that beat over to Meg and she loves the hook.
So who lied?
It sounds like Wolf. I mean, Meg is lying. So it appears.
So Juicy J made it?
Juicy J made the beat, but Wolf is saying she wrote the hook and the bridge. Meg is saying no, you didn't. But she's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just
This
give
is
you those
Meg
receipts
Thee
real
Stallion.
quick. The one I just showed you, Meg. Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah,
Oh man, I like it even more now.
Okay.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
hope.
It's crazy. But you know what's even crazier? The women are riding for Meg still.
Yeah, that's how you
I
know
didn't s-
the thing is wild with them.
Yo, you can't turn these fans over. They're called hot girls. You can't turn these hot girls off of Meg. I promise you. Don't try it. Don't not try it.
Oh, that's her crew, hot girl?
Hot girls. It's
Hot
a bunch
girls.
of hot girls, hot boys, like a whole bunch of different stuff. Like she gives a whole bunch of names. It's hard to
You
keep
gotta
up.
sign up to be a hottie.
Okay.
Okay.
I wanna be a hottie.
So you could be a part. So you could be on the Beehive and go
Nah,
down
see,
there.
Beehive, I'm like a senior, like, I'm Beehive number 384. So I was in it early, you know what I'm saying? This one, I'm probably millions down the line, but, you know, I wouldn't know where yo.
I got you.
I'm
Heard you.
a rider. But if B told me, like, look, you can't do both, I'm sorry, Maggie.
I don't. If Beyonce said I can't do both, I'm riding with Meg on this one. I'm sorry.
I was expecting you to say
I'm
Beyonce.
nah, man.
Oh no, because you would read.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you bugging, huh?
you would read. I forgot.
I love Beyonce. First of all, I love
Apparently
Beyonce.
you don't. Apparently you don't.
I love Beyonce. Because I gotta make it clear for him. Because if I don't say I like the person, he's gonna think I'm hating him, and
I don't expect
swear I
everyone
love
to have the
Beyonce.
same type of principles, morals, and quality that I have.
But you just said you would jump into Meg.
No, if I could do both.
If you could do both.
But if I only had to do one,
So I can't go into the same principle.
you can.
Oh, that's
But
what I
you
just said.
said
I wanna
if I
go-
had a choice, you would pick Meg.
If I had a choice, I'd pick Meg.
Quality.
But if I had the choice to do both, I'd choose both.
Quality control.
This is why it's tough to judge. Because Meg just came out.
I'm playing with you, man. I'm really not, but.
So putting both on.
Sorry, guys. This is what I do.
He pushes buttons,
I poke the bear.
especially Dwayne.
He tries. He tries. He tries. But at the end of the day, it can only land on jokes because when it comes to facts, it's a losing battle.
Facts. I know. See, first you disrespected Rihanna, Beyonce. Now you trying to put this new girl.
No, I'm putting Rihanna. Because you said I can't do both. Rihanna.
Look,
Say something.
Beyonce is on a whole nother plateau.
Says
Sorry.
who? Says who?
Says Beehive, get him. Get him. Get him. Get him.
Speaking of bandwagoning, that could be a word. That's a word.
Wagoner.
I'm claiming it. Let's switch to sports because I know lean in to talk about this.
I think the Knicks
Playoffs.
need me.
The Knicks need anybody but what they
I
have.
think the Knicks need me. I feel like I'd be a great addition to the team.
Anything would be a great
Whether
addition to the
whether
team.
it be an advisor or maybe just like off the bench. I think I can.
Yeah,
Even giving out popcorn in the stands.
I agree
I'm
with
there.
that.
I'm there.
I ain't gonna lie, them benches be cold. They need somebody.
Yeah, I need to warm up. I'll warm it up real quick.
Look, we could use anything at this point.
They need somebody to warm it up.
Yeah, I
Come in
can
the
warm
seats.
the towels. Make
You
sure,
could alternate the bench, like you could sit on one seat, get it hot, and sit on another one and get it hot.
like make sure the water is like the correct pH.
No, that's a separate title. You can only do one thing at a time.
Only one?
Yeah, one thing
I
at a
can
time.
collaborate.
Nah.
I warm the seats.
Yeah,
Warm the seats.
because you get paid more that way.
I mean, I can do it for free. Don't even matter.
We don't never do nothing.
Yeah, I want to know
yeah,
where y'all saw these job descriptions.
I work for free.
Oh, you see it all the time in the NBA. Players that don't get in the game.
No, for sure, but
Yeah,
I
see those.
I'm trying to see so I can apply.
They're just like walking advertisements for the sweatsuits.
Yeah, so they wear the sweatsuits around the city.
Copy.
They know. You
They
know
were like, bro, we out. Why you still got that on?
that's all I can
Oh,
afford.
that's all I got.
I don't get paid much here.
What? They didn't charge you for these?
Yo, you know what's crazy? So Kevin Durant's manager gets the same merch deal from Nike as Kyle Kuzma. That's crazy. That's nuts. I was watching the boardroom show that they got on ESPN, and Kyle Kuzma was like, yeah, I got a merch deal with Nike. Kevin Durant's manager casually said, yeah, I got that same deal. Whoever's Kyle's manager, I'm firing him. I'm sorry. You gotta go. But all right, so let's get into some sports. What are we gonna get into? There's
I'm
a
still
lot
triggered.
to talk about.
I just want to put that out there. I'm still triggered. I'm still
Man,
triggered.
all right, so let's just get it over with. Let's get it over with. Can we talk about the
We got
lottery,
played.
please?
Everybody
let's
knows
just
we
get
should
it
have had the
over
number
with.
one pick, and I'm still triggered. Like everybody's trying to make it seem like okay, this, but we can do this, and it's like okay, but no, I
new
wanted
Pelican.
number
Listen,
one.
the Knicks is in the top three. They good.
I'm a new Pelican.
They good. They good.
God, this man's calf muscles is big, man. God almighty.
I would never. I'm with LeBron. But
God.
who do y'all think the Knicks is gonna pick up?
RJ Barrett?
You think that's the right fit
Yes.
for New York?
Yes. Because he could play.
What about the guy that you want?
I wanted Zion. Oh, John Morant? He going number 2.
He's going number 2.
He going number 2.
I don't know.
He's not. No, Memphis already said. They're
I did
locked
see.
in.
I did see something today that said otherwise.
What did you see?
Yeah.
Because just yesterday I saw something different. What
When-
happened?
Actually, when I was sitting
Wait,
here,
Memphis said something? Oh, you got to see.
it did. It's
What did they say?
saying something about they might go for Barrett.
If listen, Memphis, that would be perfect for you.
Y'all
Now that's perfect.
I don't really know nothing about him. What position he plays?
John Morant?
Yeah.
He's a combo guard. He can play 1 or 2. He can
Point
play-
guard.
play-
Point guard.
He's a point guard.
But you think that'll
He's a
block
point guard.
Kyrie from wanting to come to the Knicks?
No.
If we get John Morant, I don't want Kyrie.
Yes.
I don't
We
want
get John
Kyrie.
Morant, Kyrie stay in Boston.
So you know what that does for y'all? Y'all get that? He plays point guard. Y'all don't have to worry about Kyrie's position no more. Now y'all got money for 2 superstars in other positions, and that'll elevate definitely to the finals.
But see, the thing is, there's nobody else that's valuable in other positions.
No, a lot of free agency.
No, I'm saying like DeMarcus Cousins is probably the most valuable big man. I don't want him on the Knicks. LeBron's not a free agent.
He can get traded if he wanted to.
I would never want LeBron
Nah,
in New York.
negative. Let him stay where he at. Negative.
I've
Nah,
been seeing reports of that too.
nah. Stay out there in LA.
Zion don't want to go
This was
nowhere
4
but
years
New
ago,
York.
baby.
Like, can we not just lie about that? We can like that. I'm content with that decision.
What?
He does not want to be anywhere but New York. I'm sorry,
Who's that?
Zion.
Yo,
Did you see his face
Zion was pissed.
when that pick came up?
Disappointment.
He pure. That was the pure
So
look of
uncomfortable.
disappointment.
If he was the Pelicans, would you think it'd be a smart decision to get like a big name superstar to trade for the top 5 picks? Trade for like get a top superstar and give them like the first pick.
No, because there's no bigger name in basketball than Zion right now.
LeBron.
Zion is the biggest
If you ask
attraction.
me, would I trade Zion for LeBron right now if I'm the Pelicans? Hell yeah.
You sound like a GM for
Negative.
the Portland Trailblazers.
That's
you would make
bad.
that same mistake.
Why would you trade somebody that's just coming into the NBA?
Because Pelicans been just doing?
For somebody that's going to be in the league three maybe 4 years, and he's already shown decline.
And Anthony Davis still don't want to stay in 8.
Right, who's the top 3 picks? Top 3 is Pelicans,
Memphis and New York.
Memphis. Who's on Memphis? Anybody on the Memphis?
No.
Anybody good?
Jaren Jackson Jr. He's gonna be a beast.
Ain't nobody worse than
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Not no first round pick. Like you take their pick.
Jaren Jackson Jr. is an all-star. What are you talking about?
He's not good.
No, you just don't know who he is.
Nah,
But Jaren Jackson Jr. is for sure an all-star. What are you talking
Hold
about?
on, would you pick him over Steph?
Right now? No.
Would you pick him over KD?
There's only two people. No, because you're about to ask me a question about who I pick over Steph and KD. How you gonna ask me to compare them?
Going down the line.
That makes sense.
Pick him over Kawhi?
Can you name me somebody that's not a superstar?
Would you pick him over LeBron?
Just let him name every superstar. Every superstar in the league. Like,
Facts.
come on.
Facts.
Like, no, I wouldn't pick him over them superstars.
Okay.
That doesn't prove the point. He's still good and he's still an all-star. Alright, so back to what I was saying about Memphis. They got Jaren Jackson Jr. You put Jaren Jackson Jr. with Ja Morant, that pick and roll is going to be stupid. But Memphis, I think the best pick is RJ Barrett. By saying that, RJ's your guy.
That's because you really want the other guy.
Dang, wait a minute. Yes, please.
I
Yes.
think RJ Barrett's gonna let me not put that out.
Now, RJ Barrett's going to be a superstar. He's going to be a superstar.
Real fast.
Edward said Kawhi is better than LeBron.
Edward,
No.
It's a strong statement.
I think Kawhi is a better two-way player at this point.
Yeah, I think I would go with that.
Yeah,
Not better all around.
he's a better two-way. Not all around. Not all
Definitely
around.
Definitely
Not
have it.
all around.
From what Kawhi had from his start in his career to LeBron had to start his career, wherever Kawhi is at, no, it's nothing even close.
I think the only thing I give LeBron over Kawhi is maybe passing.
Passing and rebounding. I give LeBron an edge on rebounding and
So you
passing.
feel
I guess I give him a slight
feel like
edge on
Kawhi
rebound.
drives to the
Slight
basket
edge.
better?
No, LeBron's clearly the best finisher in the league. Clearly. But that doesn't.
I give him better.
He's definitely a better defender. Way better.
Yeah, that's why I think he's a better two-way player.
Way better.
LeBron defended somebody. I think he shuts him down. Bro.
But has the best all-around player ever been the best player in the league? Because was Kobe ever the best overall player? He was
I
just the
don't think
best two-way
Kobe
player.
was. I think at the time Kobe was the best player.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, has the best all-around player ever been the best player? Because
In the
Kobe wasn't
league.
the best. Yeah, because Kobe wasn't the best all-around player. He was the best two-way player. Because Kobe wasn't a great passer. He wasn't a great rebounder.
But you know what? That's why players start realizing that. And that's why you see like LeBron or somebody like on the defensive side like kind of chill out a little bit.
On who?
Like I'm talking about like how you be seeing like James Harden, but that's a whole other case. James Harden like on the defensive side kind of chill out a little bit, cause saving your energy for the offensive side, cause you gotta do what you gotta do for the team and not burn out, cause
That's
you
corny.
try to be best on all aspects.
That's corny. That's corny.
But you know why?
That to me that's corny.
I mean, James Harden is extreme, but LeBron does defend, but sometimes he does like chill out a little bit.
I mean, like the past few years, he hasn't been defending.
Oh God.
He hasn't.
But you know what? I don't think it's corny because it depends on the situation. Like, I think James Harden's workload this year called for him to just focus on offense.
I don't think so. I think he just forced that. I don't think he has a great team. I feel like he should have gave them more opportunity.
So-
But they wasn't playing well.
I mean,
They didn't
even
start playing well until he started picking it up.
even going by what you said, let's say that's the case for this season. What about the other seasons? Because he wasn't playing defense then. Harden.
James Harden? James Harden has led the league in steals in some seasons.
James Harden
He's been a
has
good
the
defender.
title for
He
that.
just hasn't been the best defender.
I've never seen somebody do it the way he do it.
What?
They got literally videos on YouTube of him just walking.
I would too.
He's just
I ain't
like,
gonna hold you. I would too. If I'm LeBron and I'm James Harden in this current state, I'm walking on defense. I'm walking because you're gonna need me to do everything on offense. I'm walking.
But he doesn't have to do everything on offense.
He does well, not now, but he had to be the spark to get that team where it was because they was playing trash. Like they was like 14th place in January. They was garbage. And then he started dropping some stupid numbers astronomically, and That's when they started picking it up. But he had to go Jordan mode on the offensive side in order for them to pick it up. Whereas Giannis, he could play both sides. Because they was doing that for him from the beginning of the year.
I don't know. I think it's an excuse.
And same thing with Kawhi. Kawhi had a good team offensively, so he didn't have to do that. He could play both sides. Same thing with Durant. He could play both sides. I just feel like we too hard on James as far as defense, man. Because we got to look at his situation, man. It's not fair to him.
Me personally, I think it's an excuse.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool. But wait till he gets a great offensive cast. Like now, in the playoff, he's done. Next year, if they start getting players that can help him offensively, because Chris Paul's done. Get him out of Houston, please. Because he was missing in the playoffs.
What if he came in the Knicks?
Chris Paul. And he came off the bench, I'd be cool with it.
Didn't that last game Chris Paul played pretty good in that last game, didn't he? It was James Harden that came up short.
I believe so.
Every game,
Chris Paul did good.
Decider, like if it was like the last game of the series. Right, for the past 3 years, James Harden just lose gas.
We still can't lose the fact that that was one game out of 8.
Still, that's the most important game.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's like you're gonna come
And
down
it's not just
to that point.
and it's not just
Got you there.
it's not just that they lost. It's the way he played. Wasn't that last game? I think it was the fourth quarter. He only took what they say 1 or 2 shots away. He wasn't aggressive. Come on, you can't be an MVP of the league and do that. You can't go out like
But
that.
let me tell you why that's misleading. Because in the fourth quarter, why that's misleading? You don't look at how many points he scored. Look at how many points he was responsible for. Look at his PRF. Because that PRF matters as much as his PTS.
And look what that happened. He changed the formula of the most important quarter of the season.
No, but what I'm saying is they were still scoring. He wasn't doing the scoring, but he was responsible for the score. That's what I think is misleading. People keep saying James wasn't scoring, but he was assisting in those scores. So my thing is, as long as you're assisting in your scoring, whether you're scoring or you're giving the assist, why does that matter? Because if they won the game and he's assisting in their scoring, would that be a detriment on him?
But did he assist on the score? Because they say he did the same thing the year before too, when he just totally disappeared in that.
I disagree with that because the year before he didn't have a high PRF as the last game against the Warriors. The year before they missed 27 straight threes and he was just as responsible for that. But this year he was actually dishing out the ball, and you say he wasn't playing defense, but he was in that last game, in that last quarter.
Now, I understand what James Harden do with the greatness that he is, but I'm not impressed with the last playoff run. And you can say what you want to say. I wasn't impressed with that last quarter, and I feel like everybody said, that's always gonna be a little tarnish on his career.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But why? But you haven't answered the question.
And
why that matters?
Would I let just off of those performances? Would I let him carry a team? Put it on his back? No.
That's absurd to say. Because the dude went from 14 to 2.
Would you see would Michael Jordan do that?
Never.
No, I wouldn't see Michael Jordan do that. But I've also
Kobe.
seen I've also seen Michael Jordan lose several times before he started winning championships.
Nothing's wrong with losing. It's not the.
Oh my God! So the fact that he lost doesn't matter. He scored a bunch of points, but he lost. What does it matter?
God is good. I'm glad you brought him up. But it's the way you lose. I respect more you leaving out all on the floor.
But that's my thing. You saying leave it out
And
on
I'm
the
not
floor,
just
but you're
talking
talking. But that's what you're talking
But
about.
I've seen him play, and I've seen him
But the last quarter, he didn't just score. He was points responsible for matters as much as points scored.
Okay.
But you're not giving him credit for that.
Would Michael do that?
Again, he's
Would
going back to
LeBron
the
do
points.
that?
Again,
Steph done it because he didn't have to do all the time.
but you're going back to
But
the
Steph
points.
is actually turning, and I'm proud of
again.
Steph because he's actually turning up. In
All right, what's the
playoffs.
criteria here? Are we talking points or are we
We're
talking
talking
winning?
effort.
So PRF is not effort?
PRF. What is that?
I just said it 4 times. points responsible for?
How many assists he had?
How many has?
How many?
Can I use this? Can I use this?
How many?
Continue. Because you saying it's how you lose, but
How you lose?
again, you only given one criteria of losing, and that's scoring points. You're not saying, oh, he didn't give effort. Effort is not just points. Effort is rebounding. Effort is steals.
So would you say-
Effort is forcing turnovers. It's not just points scored.
Would you say it's more of Chris Paul's fault?
I would say the entire Rockets team fell apart.
Nah, not the entire.
Yes, the entire Rockets team
Literally,
fell apart.
like 80% of them don't matter.
So then, what are we talking about James Harden for?
James Harden
Like,
is the
if
Rockets.
80% of your team doesn't matter in the second round of the playoffs, why are we putting this on James Harden's back?
Because they're not the greats.
But you sitting here talking about would LeBron do that? I've seen LeBron
Question.
do it in the
Let's
last three
diffuse
finals.
this.
What
Let's
you talking
diffuse
about?
this because I see what's going on. Crazy long. I got one question. Do you think it's disappointment if KD is a free agent and he signs back with Golden State?
Is it disappointing? For the fans,
You
yeah.
think it'd be disappointing?
I feel like
Would
for
it
the
be the?
fans,
Would
It
he
was
be the-
disappointing when he did it the first time.
Cupcake. Would he be an even bigger
wanted
cupcake?
next.
Would he be an even bigger cupcake if he goes back?
Yeah.
Sound like Lisa Simpson.
Ew.
When they came out from you think it would be a bigger disappointment?
Well,
I
if
feel
he-
like he got his title now. He did what he had to do. Go try to get it somewhere else. Because you'll never be the number one. Not in my eyes. Not in real basketball fans' eyes. You might got the abilities.
I really feel like it depends.
What's your street cred look like?
I personally
your court
could care
cred look
less. I really don't care, but that's why I feel like it depends on who
Nah.
you're asking.
Ain't no scratching my rap.
So you don't care.
Cupcake.
So you don't care if he does it.
I would care. I feel like he should, like, there'd be some sucker stuff to go back to them.
Low key, but like
Ain't no
still-
low key. High key.
Low key.
Low key. Avengers.
Oh god.
Stay tuned.
We should stay tuned. We talked about Avengers already.
I watched it again last night. 3D.
As you should.
Yeah.
As you should.
I'm not watching it no more.
Why?
Because I'm watched out.
You watch
It was a
it.
great movie though. I loved it. I appreciated it more because I knew it was the last one. So especially when spoiler alert, when Tony died, whatever, it felt like I really had my I said goodbye.
3D movies are doo doo.
Yeah, I don't like it. I took it off.
You took it off.
I took it off.
So you watched it without the glasses.
It would look straight to me. I'm already cross-eyed.
I can't stand 3D movies. I don't know why they still like.
What were we
show
talking
them.
about before that?
Kevin Durant.
Cupcake. Okay.
I was saying low key, and then you got.
Yeah, what
all
was you
in.
saying? My fault.
And I was saying like I don't care if he goes back, but that's just me. I feel like the person who you're asking, it depends. Like if you're asking a fan of Golden State, they're gonna be like. I feel like they would probably
Let's
be
put it like
happy.
this. If anybody recommends him to stay and go to state, I don't respect their knowledge of basketball.
Okay.
They probably don't have no respect for themselves.
I still think it depends.
Am I
on the
wrong
person.
for saying that?
That's your
But
opinion.
I can see the only reason why I could say somebody would say for him to stay, you might as well keep getting more championships. I don't care if he has 10 championships. He's not great. He's not the greatest in my eyes.
That's what people say about LeBron though. So I
LeBron
mean,
did
it's.
it different though.
But you know what I'm saying, like it depends on the person. There's people out there who are gonna say that about LeBron, even if he wins.
Yeah, but the people who said that about LeBron, if he gets 10 championships, oh my God.
There's still
Nah,
gonna be people out there.
For
saying,
one, that's never gonna happen. And if he got 12 championships, he still wouldn't be better than Jordan. It's just a fact. He wouldn't be. He wouldn't be.
I'm saying
Coming
it.
from a Knicks fan. That watched
Yeah.
Jordan.
Right. Gotta respect it.
We've suffered. We're about numb to it at this point.
Where do you think KD's going?
I have no idea.
I really don't
A lot
know.
of speculations.
He going somewhere new like every week, so I honestly don't
I
know.
advise somebody who's on a team that really don't want KD there, just say something negative to him online. He won't come.
That's petty.
Why your ankle's so slim? What's going on?
That's petty. Did you find what you was looking
Get off them stilts.
for? Did you find what you was looking for?
No, continue. Y'all continue.
Okay, well, hey.
I ain't gonna hold you.
I think out of the Warriors team, other than KD, Cupcake, what do you think? You think who's a free agent? What's his name? Light skin dude.
From where?
The other half of the Stones, bro.
Oh, Clay Thompson.
I think he's leave.
No.
No, why?
No.
I don't know. Well, not stay with them because that was the core they started.
I think him
it's
and
like you might as well ride it out.
him and Steph
And
need
I
to
think
rock
it would
out.
be even bigger for them to win it again without KD. That would like elevate them and kind of doodle on KD. Cause it's like, yo, we really didn't need you.
They never
What did he
did.
say? Yo, we need you.
They never did.
Honestly, they really
What did he
did.
say? What's that disrespectful thing he said to him when it was beefing?
He said we won't without you.
No, I was thinking about Paul Pierce. He was like, what would you think he was, Kobe, when he was retiring?
Oh yeah. That was rough.
What do you think he was, Kobe?
You don't get love like that. You don't get love like that.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was tough.
That's hurtful.
Tough for him.
I don't want to, because I wanted to move to another town, but I don't want to move until you get your.
I will go back to it. No, y'all continue.
No, you ain't lying. Okay. So, I wanted to move to the Aisha situation.
Here we
Because I feel like it's a good segue from like.
All I'm going to say is no disrespect, Steph. But if she wants me to slide in them DMs, I'm sliding.
I have a lot to say about this. Honestly, because I'm the only female here, and I'm not gonna assume what y'all thinking. I'm sorry, I can hear myself in the background.
Please
It's
assume,
making me, like-
please.
But no, I want to hear y'all piece on it. What y'all thought about it?
Overall, this just proves the world proven fact that no matter how much you do and where you go, you just can't make them happy.
Oh, I'm sorry. And before we even get too deep into it, I'm gonna tell y'all like at least what happened in case y'all didn't hear about it.
What happened?
No, like if they didn't know what we were talking about. All we
about-
said was the Aisha situation. They probably
You know about the Aisha situation, right?
Well,
Yes.
we know. I'm talking about
Oh, no.
watching. Well, yeah. While we're sitting here, the people watching it. So Aisha Curry, she was on the Red Table Talk with Jada. And she was admitting that, females are always throwing themselves at Steph. And,
As
she
they
kind of
should.
starts feeling insecure because, it's been a while since men have, tried to talk to her. Since she felt like, is she not attractive anymore, etc. So a lot of people took that and ran with it on the internet and they slaughtered her.
She's just a clout chaser.
Really? You think so for that?
Yeah, why would she think that? Why would she
You know
think that
how-
she's not beautiful?
Mhm.
Why would she think that?
Well,
I'm sure there's some savages online that don't care about Steph or none of that. They
It's a-
slide up in there.
It's a fact, but females feel like even ones who aren't in the limelight with basketball players, just regular women, after they have kids, after they hit a certain age, and you've been married to someone, I'm sure they start to feel insecure because it's different from how they used to be when they were like younger, and people used to holler at them, rather than now when they're. Women's bodies are constantly changing from having kids and being in a marriage. Wait. So, really, women feel like this, all the time because they have to now adjust to the new them. Like, this body is new. This mindset is new. And it's like, they're not used to it. So, when they don't have something they had before, that can make them feel insecure. Especially if you have I'm not saying Steph is this person, but there are people, their husbands aren't there to make them feel beautiful.
What if
They
Steph
don't tell
doesn't
them
pay
that.
her no mind?
That could be. I don't think that's the case, but that could be the case.
Nah, the way they be doing, the way he be looking in her eyes, that's real.
Yeah, but you can't.
He
You
might
don't
be
know what
acting.
happens behind
He might
closed
be acting.
doors.
He might be
Yeah, you don't know what happens.
savage.
But what do you think, Unc? I know you really want to talk about this.
So
Can I-
yeah.
can I-
Go ahead. Nah, go.
So my thing is, just I understand what you're saying with women because I'm a I can't say that. I'm very seasoned in different levels of women, and I understand they be having some of the same complaints, insecurities about themselves, and which would be crazy because it'd be like the most beautiful women that be like, oh my god, I don't like this. But a woman in her position and the type of voice she has, I feel like, and it's a person she's married to, and what you project is like very, for her to say that is like very. Where's I going with this?
I don't know.
So I just feel like it's like, you know, you got the you know you got a limelight. It's not as much as Steph because he's famous, but it's like a lot of people like I would talk to her, but I'm not because I have respect for Steph. And it's like it's a lot of people that has respect, and it's like any other time. Let's just say she wasn't dating somebody famous. She was on the street and somebody tried to holler at her in the street. She's not gonna want that. A lot of girls, they be turning their heads like, oh my god, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you slide in their DMs, left unread, Miss Curry, thanks. all the ones that actually, that I want to talk to, unread. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. I'm sliding in there now.
Okay. Yeah, tell me what you're saying.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
This is my thing with the situation. I understand the need for the woman to feel wanted, feel sexy, and all of that. I have no problem with that. My problem comes with the hypocrisy of I've seen many women get upset with guys getting upset over the whole situation, what she said. And I know if the situation was reversed and Steph did that, he would be getting ripped in the media.
Great point.
And where these women would be ripping him. So that's actually my problem with it, because I know that I know they would be tearing him down if he did what she did.
It's crazy. I've heard different like podcasts and stuff talk about this. I never heard that perspective. That's dope.
It's dope.
You always want to say, oh, but if a man did it, but if a man did this, what? It'd be over for Steph.
It'd be over for him.
Over.
You sure about that?
Over.
You sure about that?
The black community, the black women on
You-
Twitter.
You think it would be over for Steph than it would be
If he
for
said
Aisha?
she gets all the attention, and I don't have no girls coming at me, like I feel, what?
So he's done. Like
His
they're.
marriage would be over.
I'm talking about the.
Say that?
I'm not talking about the inside. I'm talking about the outside, because that's what's going to start the ripping is the internet. So, you think Steph,
They be like, why
one of the
you
best
hating on your
NBA
wife?
players.
You little light, bright. What you doing? Why you hating on your wife? Why you so insecure? You got everything. You got a beautiful wife, daughter. Why you looking for opinions from other women?
I'm just not seeing it because
God, your wife, you. Nobody else.
I'm not seeing it because I'm seeing all of this talk. Yes, it can come to play and become a reality, but at this point, from what we're seeing, it's all what is the word I'm looking for? It's hypothetical because they're just speaking on how they feel, right? So let's go to extremes and say it did. It's a long word.
It is hypothetical.
Let's say it did happen. There was some cheating, right? Right. So
Infidelity.
Oh, look at you using long words. See?
Yeah.
Not so bad. If Steph did it, yes, women would be all over him, calling him all types of stuff. But would it be over for him like it would if Aisha did? I'm taking it to extremes because at this point, I'm trying to show you how it's not equal and how they're not on the same. Yes, okay.
So are you saying what if he cheated?
Right.
Would it be over for him?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
As in like what
For
aspect?
not really for his marriage, because that's the inside. I'm talking overall. Like he's the biggest basketball player out there right now.
Oh, you mean about like how people would perceive him?
Right. Like how people perceive him.
It's the same.
Yeah.
If
His career.
If they both cheated on each other, who would hurt the most, or who's more?
Let's just make it one side and look at two different stories. Is Steph cheated
She's
on
trying
Aisha?
to say that what she's saying is look at it as, let's say Steph cheated on Aisha. How would he be perceived? And then look at it as another aspect as if she cheated on him and compare the two.
If he cheated on her, is more of a voice coming at him.
Okay.
If she cheated on him, it's gonna be a voice coming at her, but then also gonna be a voice like, well, we don't know what she was dealing with. Basketball player.
So you don't give an excuse, like people. Basketball. I'm not just gonna say basketball players. And I don't want to be biased,
Now, if we're
but
talking about
men.
regular relationship, nobody's famous, right?
Okay.
Question:
Just men in general.
if your woman, your love of your life, Christian woman at that.
Oh gosh.
I'm talking about go to church all the time, pray together, stay together. You know, if she said that, she's just around her friends or whatever. She said that, or she said that in the front of the church. How would you feel?
I mean, of course you wouldn't like it.
How would you feel?
You wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it, of course, because you don't want your woman to talk like that.
Would it feel like you're not doing a good enough job?
I mean,
Be honest.
there's a lot of ways you could look at it. That's one of them. But there's other optics to it, too. I don't know the conversation that they had privately. I don't know because based off of what he said after that, it sounded like he supported it. So I don't know the private conversation that they had. I don't know if she said, I'm going to talk about this on the show.
I mean, maybe Steph just didn't want to embarrass her.
I think more so he
But that's
understands.
yeah, but that's more guessing. But what we do know for a fact is he supported her. So again, we gotta take the optics for what it is. He supported her, and
Probably
it
looked at her like, oh, you about to do this.
it's possible.
But I want to bring it back to the extremes because honestly, even if we're not even talking about basketball players, we're just talking about men. I feel, and we're talking about a woman who has kids. She's married. If she cheats, you're saying that she will not get torn to shreds more. She will get torn to shreds more than the guy would. In how society views women who are in a committed marriage.
Nah. Well,
Can I bring up? Well, he's a basketball player.
well,
so
I feel like
that's
it's
not
more responsibility for the mother not to, but it depends on what the situation.
fair. That
but-
sentence alone
No,
just
no, no. But I'm
tells her
saying
the
it.
point.
What I'm. Because I feel like, no, 'cause it's both.
It should
like,
be.
if y'all got a family, y'all got kids. Y'all supposed to be equally bonded. Even with the like.
I mean, I agree with that
I
statement.
don't feel like it's lopsided.
It
I feel like it's lopsided. No.
It shouldn't be.
What,
but
maybe we're looking at this the wrong way. Maybe because there's a lot of times where people say things thinking they know how they feel, and it's really something deeper than that. Maybe it's not men. Maybe it's just her insecurity within herself.
no, it is.
And
But
that's how she identifies her beauty is through men. So maybe it's deeper than that.
I
Does she
do
have a
think
daddy?
that. Yeah, she has a father.
That doesn't matter. Though.
Active.
It does.
That don't matter.
Yeah, a lot of times, I've dealt with a lot. I'm seasoned in women.
Yeah,
A lot of women that don't.
We
I mean,
get
it's
you
everywhere,
Lawry's
but
over
it's a
there,
lot of
you're
women that
I've
don't
had-
get attention from their dads.
And I've had women that have got attention from their fathers that still act the same way.
Is it the right attention?
Yeah, like they was raised in a good home. I've seen, listen, we've seen, but that doesn't matter because we've seen, let's take this a whole nother direction.
Let's go.
We've seen school shooters shoot up a school and they come from a good home.
All white people.
Doesn't matter though, but I'm saying they come from a good home.
All white people.
No, it's a fact. I mean, parents who raise their. I'll use me as an example, right? I feel like I was pretty sheltered. I was the youngest, I am the youngest, and I'm the only girl. So it was a struggle doing certain things or things that I wanted to do with my friends at a certain age. So when people are under that restriction, a lot of the time, I ain't snitching on myself. Just saying. But, if they'll sneak,
Keep it real. Listen. Keep it
they'll
real
sneak and do
podcast.
stuff. Like
Like what?
they'll sneak out or
Like what?
cut school.
That's cool. Woo.
Look, I ain't saying nothing my parents already don't know. So I ain't mad at it.
Not you.
Anyway, I'm saying like people who are even like Dwayne was saying in those kind of situations can do worse compared to what the people around them are trying to avoid. So I get what you're saying, but I was trying to get to the point of the fact that I feel like it was heightened because of the fact that she was a woman.
All right. So
That's all I was trying to prove.
would it make her? Would you think it corrects itself if everybody just start hollering at her now?
It's not. I don't think it's meant to correct itself. I think, like Dwayne said, she was talking out of emotion, and what she was trying to portray just didn't come out the way it should have, or it was supposed to. That when I heard it, I was just like, even when I was watching it, I low-key cringed. I was like, I don't know if she meant to say it like that. But I got what she was like, where she was coming from. I understood it, but how she said it, it was like, no, dude, that's not how you say
It's just
it.
like,
I agree with Edward though. You know, I see. I agree with Edward. I don't feel like a woman should have to say that on that platform. I don't think a man or woman should speak that on any platform. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't have a problem with what she was saying, the topic. I just had a problem with where she was saying it. I don't feel like that's something that should have been said there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
even if it was there though, I feel like not publicly. Is that what you're trying to say? Because I feel like she was so comfortable enough to say it with the people that was there.
I disagree with that too. Because it's not just it's the platform. If she said that on like Ayanla, that's her name, Ayanla Fix My Life. If she said that on that platform with Steph there, I'm good with it.
Cool. No, I'm just saying.
So it's the platform for me.
I'm talking like in private. I'm saying if that red table wasn't even like.
Not in private, in public. I'm saying on Ayanla's show.
So it makes a difference.
Yes.
No,
In my opinion, it does.
I can see where you're going with that, but honestly, I feel like before she even says anything public, even on a show like that, she should have had a conversation with a group of friends who clearly she felt comfortable with at that time to say something like that.
She should have a conversation with her husband first.
I'll be honest with you. I would fight for her to say that she probably didn't want to. There was the insecurity there already. She probably, which honestly isn't healthy.
That's the problem. You inviting all these people in your marriage. Like, keep it between you and your husband first.
Get it right, shorty.
But you don't think that happens all the time? Even people who aren't married or just in a relationship, they want to talk to their guy friends or their girlfriends about something before they go to. I get it, but I'm saying like that happens.
With a book or something?
Well, a lot of things happen that don't make it right. That's something that is to be sacred within your relationship.
That's what you call Christian
letting
clout
people
chasing.
in.
Insecurity. I feel like insecurity makes you do a lot of things
clout chasing on a
that
godly
you're
level.
probably not proud of, and that's something that she would probably initially go to like a friend for first because of the insecurity. Like she's already insecure. I know it's not. It wouldn't be easy to go to someone. Okay, yeah, you're married, but it's just like
And Christian.
why you keep bringing up Christian? What
I
did
just
I
want
do
to
with
say,
anything?
Like that's supposed to be some
like that's the break. Like
Like I said, my biggest problem was
because honestly and truthfully, I see mad mess in Christian homes and churches. I see the most mess there. So it's like you're saying in Christian, like it's some type of like standard.
I'm just saying.
I expect that.
I'm just saying. It's the ball.
That is not the ball. For sure, not the ball.
That's not the bar.
I see people do I've been to churches where people did wilder testimonies than that in front of the church on the mic. I mean, they got deep into their sex life on the mic, and it's like, why are you doing that in church?
Talking about I was doing.
Pause.
My biggest problem is like I said, the hypocrisy of it, man. I feel like if it was the other way around, because I seen so many women just like, oh, they siding with her, and you're like, oh, this and that. I know if that was Steph that did that, they would have tore him apart. They'd have tore him apart for saying that.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know what? I agree with Anton. They would have tore him apart for a different reason than we stating. Not just because he's a man, but because he's the bigger figure. So you would look at it and say, why are you looking for more attention when you already get more attention than her? So you should be the one that's more content with the attention that you're getting than Aisha, right? But if we had somebody that's like, if Oprah said that, I mean, if Oprah said that about her relationship with Stedman, nobody care about Stedman. Like, if he complained about getting attention, we'd understand. Like, we get it. Like, yo, you get no attention over here.
Nobody cares about Stedman.
Nobody cares about Stedman, huh? So if he come out of here like, you know, man, I want some female attention, me and a bunch of people would say, that's probably right. But if Oprah said it, it's like, you're Oprah. It's not because she's a woman. It's like her status. It's like, you're Oprah, though. It's my take.
I mean, I get, like, I'm honestly, and I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to neutralize it. Like, I do agree with what you're saying, guys are saying. But I still picture the imbalance of gender in it. Can I just, like ruthlessly talk straight, Kayla? Bring up, Wade and Gabby for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Whole nother baby.
Oh, you
Whole
talking about
different
when
woman.
he cheated on Gabby? Yeah.
Right. So, yes,
He got killed for that.
ripped him apart. But had that been Gabby, I swear, y'all can't tell me.
She would have got
She
killed
w-
for it too.
Like, he got shredded. She would have been dust. Like, I'm just,
Should have been dust.
like,
She would have been snapped.
for real.
The Infinity Gauntlet.
Like, there would have been no trying to, like, tape her back together. Like, so that's the only thing I'm trying to bring up is the fact that, like, no matter, I'm not going to say no, yeah, I ain't going to say no matter what, but, like, it's always less of what word am I looking for?
What?
It's always less of fire to the seat when it's a guy. I honestly truly believe that. Like in any situation, and it still happens to like just a regular dude. Like if he cheats, or if I know I'm bringing up cheating, but I'm trying to take it to the extreme because that's the only way that I feel like it'll be viewed. Because I feel like we're only gonna stick to like Stephen Curry, and I'm trying to bring it to like a wider spectrum.
Mhm.
So if he cheats, guys do that. They cheat. It happens. Like what kind of excuse is that? But if it's a woman, like can we like at least try to see like the gender imbalance when it comes to something like that?
So what are we saying about the?
I'm saying that
What's
if
the overall point?
the overall point that I'm
because I
saying,
want to agree with you saying, but I'm kind of lost.
the older I'm bringing it to an extreme because like I get what you're saying with if it was Steph, yeah, he's Steph, like he already has all the attention he needs.
Mhm.
But if it happened, it wouldn't have been at the level that it was for
Oh,
Aisha.
okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying society wouldn't kill Steph the way we're going after Aisha.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Like
I disagree. Because the society for sure was going after Jay.
Wait, why am I not?
Hove.
Oh,
Jay-Z.
okay. Yeah,
Jigga
yeah.
Man.
No, for sure.
We killed, and when I say, now, I don't mean we, but society went hard on Jay.
Mhm.
I mean, I never seen that man get so much hate in his career.
Mhm.
And he's just as big of a star as Beyonce.
Mhm.
Just saying.
And you see, well, I'm hoping we never have to figure out. But you think his would be bigger if it was on the other foot? I mean,
Yeah.
if it was
If Beyonce cheated on Jay,
I feel like you gotta
it'd be
stay though. Exactly.
It'd be well deserved.
it'd be destructive.
It'd be well deserved.
Oh, brother. But that's
I hope
that's
that
the
doesn't
only
happen.
point that I'm
Jay,
just trying to
Hov,
bring.
But you know what's crazy about this whole Curry situation? It's like we are going so hard on Aisha, but her husband don't seem to care.
But
I
I
mean, it
said
starts a bigger conversation,
He's
obviously,
a Christian.
but he doesn't care.
I don't feel like. I feel like it's because I think he understands, and I mean, I ain't Steph, I ain't in his head, but
They probably talked about it.
Now,
In my
one time
opinion, they
have
probably
you
seen
talked
Steph
about
say-
it. Like,
Now,
I'm
one
say
time
this,
have you ever
it's
seen
cool.
Steph say anything negative?
As far as
That's
what?
why- that's why you
would he
can't
start
believe
saying
everything.
something negative about, his
Yeah, you don't know what happened behind closed doors
Yeah,
with
that's-
that.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I'm sure. Like, they have different type of conversations behind closed doors.
for real, that's why you can never believe every. Like when you be like,
You know
oh,
what
they're
probably-
perfect. Then
You know what probably really happened? He probably told his wife, like chill. Like, sometimes I just like to, like, sometimes feel like I still got it behind closed doors. And he'd be like, well, what if I said that? I'm like, I don't know. It's just, for a man, it's different. And she went on there and said it.
You know, I think it's. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna jump on the side of the female for a second because I think it's a little unfair because we don't have to deal with the depression that comes with after giving birth, right? And we don't have. What do you mean where it come from? That's what we talking about. We talking about mental health. We talking about Aisha. We talking about.
We were talking about, like, getting, like, approval from other women and guys.
That's what I'm talking about. But I'm getting to that point.
Oh,
Like,
body changing.
not even just the body changing, because it's more than that. Like if you really look into what is it called, postpartum depression. When you really look into it, it's not just the body it's not just the body that's affecting the female, right? So you looking at Aisha. She has what, 3 kids?
Mm-hmm.
She just gave birth to a son not too long ago, right?
Mental.
And I feel like she's coming from a place of she doesn't feel attractive to herself. And I think by her saying, I'm not getting male attention, I'm perceiving it as that's how she identified her beauty was getting attention. So she's not seeing it the same. She said
How do you
That's what
fix
I
that
was-
as her man?
you don't ever fix that. No one can ever fix that. It's the person that gotta fix that.
That's what I was saying in the beginning. I'm saying what she's known for her body and herself, like before she had kids, before this whole family situation happened.
Right.
She was
She-
known.
I ain't saying. I'm telling herself.
Oh, okay.
Herself.
Yeah.
Her body, like this, like that takes a toll on your mental, especially now when you're with someone who's always in the limelight and you're always being compared. You got society standing, like you got all of that on you.
It's a lot of pressure.
And now you have to now accept this new you that you don't even know, because like you've only had it for a few years.
Any woman would trade positions.
But we not.
That's not her
But
mental
but again,
thought,
that's
though.
an unfair way to look at it, because we looking at it from a perspective of she has everything, right? And that's not fair, because when you're dealing with certain things like anxiety and depression, that crosses financial barriers. Like it crosses certain barriers that the rich may have. She's dealing with some real issues that regular women deal with on a day-to-day basis. I disagree with, like I said before, where she decided to speak that truth. But I agree with Steph. I feel like there's women out there that deal with that. So her speaking that truth could help somebody else.
What do you think left of their relationship if they became swingers?
Now, where are we
You
going
were
with
going
this?
with this? I'm so confused.
Y'all know what I'm saying, right? Like, she needs approval from other men.
I don't know.
Steph is gonna cheat anyway.
This is proving
not
that's
saying he
that's
is,
proving
but-
my point, but
Like, I see the stance that I have with swingers.
I just wanted to know the
So
connection.
who they gonna swing with? Jay and Beyonce?
Nah, Beyonce don't want that.
See?
Beyonce don't want that. We're talking about. Hold on, we're talking about two. That's a whole nother level of.
How you know what Beyonce want?
Because he dream about her.
Let's just say I have.
You got insider information?
I got mental abilities to.
We know that for sure.
I'm a great
definitely got
observer.
mental abilities, that's for sure.
I'm a great observer, and let's just say, sneak peek, a great listener.
All right, so listen to this. If now, let's look at it from this perspective. Like, I'm glad you brought up Beyonce, because if this was Beyonce, she would not be killed like this.
Watch your mouth.
If
I
Beyonce
agree.
came out and said, I don't feel like I'm getting male attention, she would not be killed like this.
Definitely
She'd get
not.
so much sympathy.
Beyonce's not a regular woman.
You want to know why they're killing Aisha? Because she's
regular.
been on the pedestal. She's put herself up
She's
here
a
on the
regular
pedestal. Hold on a
Christian
second.
woman.
She's put herself on a pedestal this whole time. She's made herself seem like she's better than all regular women. I don't know why women do this. I don't know why women do that. Since you want to be the golden girl, now the first time you got a chink in your armor, they're going to attack her. And that's what's happening. But if this was Beyonce, forget about it. They'd be supporting her to the end.
Oh my
Why is
God.
Jay not calling
She
you
can't-
beautiful?
She can't
Like
even.
applying
She can't even say
flowers?
that because she gets plenty of male
No,
attention.
you're right. She do. She could never say that.
She can't say
But
that.
if she ever did,
Definitely
they
not.
would kill Jay for that. They would go so hard like, Jay, you're not buying her flowers? You're not getting her candy? You're not taking her on vacation?
I mean, that's
Well,
the
no,
only place
I
it would come
disagree with
from.
that.
You don't think they kill Jay for that?
Now you talking about male attention, or you talking about
Male attention.
she'll just say, "Oh, my husband's not giving me
No,
attention."
if she said the same thing Aisha said, I don't feel
well,
like
yeah,
I'm getting male
well,
attention.
if she said that, no, then I disagree. I
You don't
disagree.
think who they gonna kill?
No,
Who they gonna blame?
she said male attention, not from her husband. She's getting attention from her husband, but she's asking attention from other men.
But look at the optics for that. If a woman came to you and said, I'm not getting male attention, the first thing that would come to most people's minds, and the first thing that came to their mind in this situation was, well, why are you worried about other men when you should be worried about your man? So
They
if
think
your
it should
man's
be
not
coming from him.
right, if your
Right.
man's not affirming you, then that's the only reason why you would say that.
Did y'all see that that clip of how they had like the Martin when Gina came in the room and
Yeah.
all
Yeah, we
dressed
saw
up
that.
and the dude's looking at him?
I
Like,
saw that.
I was like, it's
gonna be Aisha Curry?
Yeah, like this all season long.
Yo, the memes behind this was fire. I ain't gonna lie.
The memes in many
I was with it.
situations are pretty funny, and we just feel so bad. about saying.
That's Christian clout chasing at its finest. Tell you.
Yo, what you got against Christian?
What is this Christian thing
God,
with
dang.
you? Jeez.
I'm just saying.
Yo, we ain't gonna have no fan
If
base.
there was a-
we are not gonna have a
If
single
there
fan
was
base.
if there was a
Good
category Christian clout chasing, who's better? My point.
Wait, say that question again?
If there was a category ChristianCloutChaser.com, who would be at the top? Right
I
now?
don't want to answer that question.
I didn't understand the question. Say it again.
If there was a category,
I said say it again, not slow. I'm not slow.
if there was a category of Christian clout chasers, she has the crown right now.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Christian clout chasers? That's not even a thing.
Yes.
Like, you want me to answer a question to something that's not even real? That's not a thing.
No, she's
Like,
playing.
and you said it 3 times and slow like you was making sense. It makes no sense. It's not a real thing.
If 6ix9ine,
And now we gonna bring 6ix9ine back up. Let the man be in jail, please. He's not bothering nobody. Let him be in jail.
Wow.
Why am I putting jail? He put jail on him. What you talking about?
This conversation just went.
Fifi.
I don't even know
Yes.
where it went.
Yo,
He started off with Aisha and Steph Curry, and we all the way on 6ix9ine.
come on, son. Like, we took 3 different spirals. We went from
6ix9ine
swingers
was a
to
Christian.
Christian clout chasers.
We
He
went
would
to
be the king
season
of
1,
that,
episode
but
1 just now.
she's
Like,
not.
Well, we went all the way back to season 1. leave 6ix9ine alone. I promise you, he don't care. I
Honestly.
promise you. He got enough things to worry about.
6ix9ine, I still want you on the show. You still guest on the show. if you
Please
want.
don't. Please don't.
Who?
6ix9ine. Little rainbow
Tekashi
kid.
6ix9ine.
Rainbow hair.
Please don't. Please don't.
he said it. I mean, I no comment.
You can go on the Nate the Great show
No comment.
live on YouTube. Don't come
Yo,
out.
I know this is off subject. Off subject. I'm thinking of Tekashi. I'm thinking of Fifi. When I first heard that Cardi verse on that DJ Khaled, and she was like garbage. I thought she said she said garb, but I thought she said barb. It's like, oh, and then there was a part where she was like,
You
beef.
was ready. You
What?
was ready,
Snapping-
wasn't you?
Snapping
You
turtle.
was ready.
My God. Pause.
Bro.
Anyway.
Yo.
What is
Snapping
happening?
turtle action. Anyway.
How did it go?
I promise y'all, that's like actual sweet tea. That's not liquor. Like,
Whoa.
there's nothing in that. I don't know why
Yo, that was wild.
all of this is happening. Oh,
That's nuts. I'm sorry. That was nuts. Yo.
Yeah, I can't drink my tea, yo.
I'm in tears. That was wild.
I'm sorry, back on subject?
I
no,
know you want to get back
sorry.
to the subject.
No.
Yo, get back to the subject. I can't.
How about we switch subject? We're just gonna switch the subject at this
Okay.
point.
Clear
So-
my palate.
I'm gonna since we're talking about
That's fine.
basically women at this point, I want to transition to
Very seasoned.
this abortion law situation that's been happening.
Oh, that's
I
whack.
think they're really making progress, and I'm playing.
Yo, we gonna kick you.
You about to turn his mic off.
Like
Production.
I told you, we need like a button so that we can
Production.
just like mute him.
We trying to grow a fan base here, production. We need a mute button.
But these
What if I
abortion.
What if I started off, said, what if they really made I think they're really making progress in trying to overturn this.
What you mean?
And overturn.
Yeah.
Mercy.
I don't want to know. I
I
take my
don't-
question back. I don't
so-
really want to know.
No, no, no.
He tried to
Say it
flip
after-
it.
after
He tried to
the-
flip it real quick to save himself. That's what that was. He tried to flip it.
Yo, say it off the air. I want to know.
So apparently, it's Alabama, Ohio, Kentucky, Mississippi,
Alabama's so trash.
and Georgia. But Alabama is the one
Bama sounds like a
that
cracker state.
It's been a cracker state.
it's ridiculous.
Always gonna be a
Alabama is a
rich
hot
cracker
mess,
state.
low key. I'm sorry, but like their laws are ridiculous, and they excuse for rape and incest.
Beautiful women.
Incest. Like
Incest.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
part that got me too.
if you
Leave
were
it
raped
to
by
white old men to make sure that incest is allowed.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
It's disgusting.
You mean to tell me that if a family member
Oh, they allow that?
Rape?
That's a law that passed. Did you
no,
do that?
no. First of all, I never do. Is there a law against it?
I don't
well,
think it is. I think I heard that before.
I,
I
think
don't
it's just
know.
socially unacceptable, but I don't know.
I don't
if it's
think there's a
allowed.
law against it.
I don't know nothing about it.
at least not
But
in
now they're
Alabama.
saying if you had a baby by somebody in your family, you have to keep the baby.
yeah,
You can't abort it.
cannot abort
If you
it.
get raped, you cannot abort it. You have to keep the baby. I feel like why is white men period, making laws on women and
exactly
a woman's body? I don't feel like a single male should be making it a law about anything dealing with a woman's
Well, you
body.
know what? I heard some research on. I did some research on. I forgot the lady's name, but there was 2 women that actually petitioned that in Alabama.
To go for it.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
they're
there was white crackers though.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
they
man,
stupid.
Alabama's just as bad as Florida.
like I see both sides of it, but the bigger side is whether you believe it or not. That's not your choice for somebody else.
Exactly.
What's the side of to it?
What's what you mean?
The like, okay, what's the argument for being for it?
Well,
You're pro-life.
for not having a choice.
For wanting to.
Because they're probably looking at it one-sided, where it's like you're taking a life, and it's like me, I could have been aborted. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Same
like,
here.
I'm
Same
glad
here.
I wasn't.
Same here.
And it's like you're making a decision for me.
Mhm.
And it's like, but I understand different, and I understand the other side's different circumstances. But then there's some circumstances where it's like you're making that choice because you feel like you're not ready, and it's like you can just adopt or give the child away. So I understand both sides, but in circumstances where it's like rape and stuff like that, you know, those are different. But
You know why I
But
don't
then-
like this argument though when people make it? Not saying that that's your stance, but I don't like that particular argument because the government wants us to basically strip us of our choice, right? But then you have the government put in certain situations where we've oppressed. We come from, this country was built off of oppression. We didn't give choices. So you want to continue that narrative in 2019? At this point, you want to continue to oppress people? Like, when is that going to stop?
never.
I mean,
We gotta.
I'm gonna get. I feel like once I start, I'm gonna get real deep into it. So I'm gonna let you.
No,
finish what you're gonna say.
I'm going to chime right off you.
Because I feel like not only so you can't abort the baby if it's past. I'm sorry, as early as 6 weeks into pregnancy when a heartbeat is detected. Right. All right.
That's super early.
It's super early. So you can't do it for rape, incest, even if it affects the mother. You know, like some women, like it affects their health.
Health
They might
issues.
die if they
Yes.
continue with the pregnancy.
Come on.
Still can't abort it, right? So people's argument most of the time is, oh, just have the baby, give it up for adoption. Okay, so we're not going to pretend like there's hundreds of thousands of kids already packed into foster homes right now.
I'm going to tell you what it's really about, but I want you to continue your point. I'm going to tell you what it really is about.
I mean, we could get even deeper into it and talk about the fact that they want to have more control on birth control. They want to have more control. I think it's so crazy how limited women are when it comes to it, because it's like
It's disgusting.
we legit you can go to any clinic right now and get as many condoms as you want.
For sure.
Get pills, Viagra. You can get all of that for men.
For free. Right? You go
For
to
free.
Free clinic.
But women go through this natural thing every month, but yet we still pay to maintain it. Like, we can't get that for free. Like, we still pay for that. Like, that's still taxed. Like, I feel like it's just the new, like, if you just make a pros and cons list, the cons are ridiculous.
Giving out condoms and aborting babies, totally different price.
And that's not really, like, the point of it. The point of it
And
is
if you use any condoms from the clinic, Lord, you might as well just not use it. Anyway.
I feel like
It's a fun fact.
I feel like the point of it mainly
That's a fun fact.
Very fun.
is just like the fact of how it's not restrictive for men when it comes to anything sexually. Like, that's just not fair.
You know what you do? You should come up with something where the government pays people to have babies for them, like kind of like surrogates or whatever, or they may do it in a lab, where if you don't want the baby, you bring it to the lab, and the lab will do it, and then they can adopt it for you and all of that instead of killing them. But you know what that really would do over time? It would overpopulate the world, or run out of food, and everybody would just be crazy.
So I'm going to go.
So these laws are really just, I feel like these laws are just making it really hard for certain women. It's just health-wise too. Like, some women are really going to have to either leave where they live to get abortions. They're going to have to stoop to really primitive ways to get abortions. Illegal ways.
Real fast, real fast.
It's gonna get crazy, and they're gonna jeopardize their health.
Hold on, no.
I'm going to tell you what this can I tell you what this is really about? So the Caucasian birth rate has been down dramatically in the past decade. More non-Hispanics and Hispanic birth rates have been rising. They feel threatened.
All because
They don't want to be the minority in the group.
the rate of abortions of Caucasian women is way higher than anyone else, and their population is dying, and they don't want to see that. So, for right now, they're gonna cut it off until they see the numbers correct, and then they're gonna some politician's gonna come in there and try to let black women do it again, but.
They don't even care about black women. I'm gonna be
really
honest. They didn't
don't.
make this law for black women. They didn't make this law for Hispanic women. They made this law for white women. They want to make sure that the white women are having their babies, so that their birth rate can rise.
And for men too. So they're not put in the hot seat when they do something stupid and disgusting. Like,
It's nasty. This whole thing is nasty. This whole situation with this whole abortion thing is nasty, man. And it again, and I said this a few episodes back. I really would like to see women rule this country at higher positions, not just at local government, but at the highest positions. I want to see women take over the country, because the way that it's happening right now, there's too much control handed to people that mean us harm.
mhm.
And to me, it's not even just about race, because you have black people too that agree with this type of rhetoric. We have to do something for the females, because it's becoming harder and harder for y'all to have a choice.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's being stripped away slowly but surely. Y'all rights are being stripped away. And it's first of all, this optic is terrible in the middle of the Me Too movement. It's absolutely horrible. Like, why would anybody even try to pass a bill in the middle of that?
I know it just shows the fight back at that point. Like, they're not even trying to be subtle about it. Like, they're just bluntly saying, okay, I'm just gonna fight this because clearly it goes against what I want.
Right.
And speaking in the voice of like these white men who are in power. Like, it's so bad. It's basically like, first, I can't get an abortion. Okay, cool. So can I get my birth control? No, you can't have that either. Okay, so can you use a condom? But it doesn't feel that good. You know, so it's like, okay, so we don't win in any circumstance in any of this. So I just feel like, this kind of just makes stuff like the Me Too movement and just feminism in the right terms, because there's extreme feminism and there's what feminism really stands for. What feminism really stands for. I feel like that's just gonna bring us all kind of together to try and fight it, because like there's like literally no words for it. At least for me, like it's just like it's really kind of sad. It's depressing. It's very depressing. Like it.
Yeah.
I've always said like I always wanted to have all boys, because like I mean
It's really rough for women.
it's
out here.
rough for women.
tough.
Yeah, it's rough to have, a black boy in today's age too, but to have a girl, like, bro. And this just makes it even worse.
I seen a tweet on Twitter. It was it was a white person that tweeted this. They said, imagine being black, being a black person, and imagine being a white woman in this country. I was like, yeah, it's kind of tough, but imagine being a black woman in this country.
Exactly.
There's no person that's steeper at the bottom than black women.
I
And
agree.
people that get stepped on the most are black women. And the people that have the most to offer is black women. So it's like, but that, for me, it just shows me that they're just trying to oppress what we can be. Because it shows clearly how they feel about black people. They don't want us to be the majority because they know what we can do with power. They know what we can do when we band together. Why would they want more of us? They want more of them. It's for me, and it coming from a country like, a state like Alabama, it's like, I expect that. When I seen the list of the people that were voting that bill in, and I seen the pictures, it's nothing but old white men.
Of course.
It's nasty. I'm never moving to a state like Alabama. Never.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I just want women to just have more of a choice. I'm talking. Oh, hey, Auntie. Auntie's in the chat. Our aunt, Tawana.
Auntie, what's up? Yeah, I gotta tell her how it is. I'm sorry.
I just want women to have more
It's
of
nasty.
a choice. Like it's totally past the point. It's like, and I feel like it's happening at such a rapid pace. Like before it was the abortions, it was the fact that we couldn't, the whole Planned Parenthood kind of thing, and it was I don't want to get too deep into it, but just basically what we should have naturally, rather than like, you know, with the whole like having to pay for like menstruation products and stuff like that. I feel like that should be something that's like, I don't even understand why we still pay for that kind of stuff. I talk about that like every time it's my monthly, like I'm just like, why do I have to pay for this? Like I don't get it. Like you choose to use a condom, but I don't choose to have this. Like this doesn't make any sense.
This is why I always said, you know, and this might sound kind of crazy, but I feel like segregation is a positive thing for black people at this point. I don't feel like we should try to we've tried to integrate for decades at this point. And I don't feel like that's the answer. I think we should we have a home. Like people, we forget, like we have a home. We have an entire continent that's ours that we need to take back, right? And there's ways of doing that. Like we can first take back our imports and exports. We could take back our diamond mines. We could take back our gold mines. We could take back our mineral mines, so that we can control import and exports. Start building wealth in Africa and start taking back these countries. You understand? Like we got countries like Congo, the richest country in the world, rich of resources, but we're gonna sit there and allow it to be raped by countries because of what? Like there is no good reason. I was gonna give one, but there is no good reason. So we sitting here trying to integrate ourselves in a society that wants us to die. This is the part that kind of pisses me off, because for decades, our grandmothers have dealt with it, our grandparents, our great-grandparents have dealt with ridicule and tried to integrate themselves in a society that doesn't want us. So why are we still trying? At this point, we should try to figure out a plan to start buying back what's ours, get what we need to get, and form a country of our own. Start in Africa. It's already happening now. Like we got people like Shaka Bar's out there, Stefan Don is out there doing great work. Artist Life, the Jamaican elder, is out there doing great work. Like there's people on the ground doing work. We should be following that direction. Not trying to make laws in America to try to make it better for us when it never will be. We are living in a matrix right now, thinking that we're gonna live in a country that wants us here and we're gonna be safe. I'm getting sick and tired of seeing people get killed. I'm desensitized at this point. Like when I see black people being killed, I'm on Twitter still scrolling. It doesn't trigger and hurt me, and I'm not gonna say that. I don't give the same reaction to it like I used to. I'm desensitized at this point. It's nasty what we're going through in this country, and no one is really trying to push the agenda to go back to Africa to build a country so we have a place to go.
Well, Akon speaks highly of it, though.
Yeah, but we need more than just a leader to go out there. We need the people collectively, like Nipsey said, like understanding and coming into our collective greatness, like collectively making a movement and not just one person.
Together.
I feel like if you were to go into what you're speaking of, it has to start on a smaller level, which is in the bring it to Nipsey if you want to. In the community, it starts with kids and bringing it to their education so they can get to those points where they can be in those spots in the Supreme Court as lawyers, as presidents. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it starts there, because it's not like I could just go. Well, I mean, I can, but most people can just go and get in these positions within the next 2 years. Like, it's not gonna happen. There's the oversaturation of Caucasian people in those places is like, it's a lot, and it is a lot of work that we have to do. So if we want to get into those positions so that we can do partly what you were saying, is like, it has to start with the community. People have to have that drive to do it. People have to have the knowledge. You know, we have to be exposed to the knowledge. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of people of color are in poverty areas and they struggle to get that kind of education. I mean, that's the whole like domino effect we have to try to get out of.
It costs you $10,000 to get 5 acres of land in Africa and the Congos. We can collectively buy back our country, guys. We can collectively put our money together and build a city that is solely dependent on the resources of the continent and not from anywhere else. Everywhere else, they're mining and taking our resources. Our resources. They're not theirs. They're ours, and we're allowing these people. They still have slavery in Libya. Sorry, and I'm watching pictures of men whipped, slashed,
And they owned by black men, right?
and it's black men in the country doing it. It's nasty what's going on in our continent, but again, I'm gonna be honest with you, and again, because I'm from America, I can understand why we move so slow on these things, because we already have enough to worry about here. We have enough in our lives going on, and it takes certain individuals like a Nipsey, like a Shaka Bars, people that take a step back and put others before themselves for that revolution to start. You know what I mean? But you're right, it starts somewhere, and it's starting with people like Shaka Bars, who's building libraries, who's building schools, who's putting things in place in Africa for kids to learn, for kids to grow, for kids to have a space to understand what's going on in the world, and for them to have food and resources, man. Like, there's no reason why we're going through what we're going through in Africa. Like, it upsets me to my spirit, but...
Yeah, but then, like you said, we have to start that, here, like, because we're here. So we have to start that here. So take your community, take your local elementary schools, your kid. Like, I feel it really does. Like, I know it sounds really cliche, but it really does start with the kids, because those are the future leaders. Like, they're going to be the ones to make that change or instill that change. So it's like, I feel like we have to start here. And I mean, as much as I would love it to happen within the next generation, it may even take a little longer than that. I'm being honest, because
To do what?
To take away the saturation of Caucasian, racist, white people in power.
Take them out.
Not take them out. I'm saying
You have to
put us in those positions. Putting these kids, kids who are now, in the next couple generations will now be older. They will not have the education to be in those positions. So it's not going to happen so fast, as much as we would like it to. But that's okay. Like, I mean, I feel like it's okay, because it'll be happening the right way. Not in a savage way, not in a forced way, the right way. And because I know if we do it in a savage way, it ain't gonna fall in place the way we want it to. I'll be honest.
Yeah, just to say what y'all was saying, but I know I posted this like on Instagram the other day. It was just like, and this is how like each individual could start, is like just giving game to the younger youth, just giving them game on like just mentality, how to move, what to not put themselves in like situations that harm them or harm their family, and just learning how to be like grown men and grown women, and strive for education past them, like and understand you can only give what you know, but let them know that there's way more than what they know. As much youth you can get to, adults too, but adults a lot of times they stuck in their ways and don't want to hear it. So you gotta talk to the youth and just give them game, drop gems. If you don't know them, just drop gems.
And I'm glad you said something about mental, because it's actually a segue into the last thing I want to talk about for today. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay. And I just wanted to just really quickly, like, kind of just talk about how important, like, I will say this until I am old and wrinkly, how important mental health is. Like, I'm gonna talk from a personal standpoint. At my college,
I'm sorry, before you, I mean to cut you off, but shout out to my mother, because she's the one that had the idea to speak about it. At the beginning of season 2, she said we should talk about mental health.
No facts.
But we decided to wait till Mental Health Awareness Month to talk about it.
It seemed right to do around then.
But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. So at my college, I went to see a counselor, right? I was going through some stuff, and I just needed an outlet, right? Just to find out that they only allow, I think she said 12 sessions. So I'm like, oh, 12 sessions, that's cool. But she was like, no, it's not 12 sessions a semester. It's 12 sessions your entire time at the college.
Dang.
I was like, so if I was a freshman and I go through something within I still got 3 years left. If I was a freshman, that's it.
That's it.
Like, I can't talk to nobody else. That's lit. I don't have no other outlet. Or if I did know that, I'm limiting myself to like what, 2 visits a semester? That ain't enough. And college kids in general, young adults, teenagers, and sadly sometimes even
Yeah,
just
that's
kids
crazy.
go through things, and it's like nobody really takes it seriously a lot of the time. Especially a lot of the time when it's people who really don't understand how serious mental health is. And I just feel like it needs to be talked. I think it needs to be integrated into schools a lot more than what it is. Because I just feel like people don't, like, when you hear someone going through stuff and they talking to you, yes, there's but so much you can do, honestly. But it's just like, I feel like it's not enough in school when people just be like, oh, talk to a teacher, talk to a friend. That ain't enough. And I didn't realize it when I was in high school and kind of until I came into college and started having to experience more adult things in my life and not knowing how to go about it. So I don't know. I just if I could try to make a change within, I would say the school system, because I feel like that's when a lot of kids see change and they start to feel change because they're around a lot of different other people. I would change that a lot in schools, even if it starts in an elementary school. And I know that sounds very young, but that's when a lot of kids still go through that. Kids, not just teenagers, not young adults, not adults, but babies. And they're like, they don't know how to deal with it. They probably don't even know the definition of what they're going through.
Right.
So, yeah, that's one thing I really hope can change within the next couple years. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. The whole 12 times a year, when you told me that, I thought that was absolutely nuts. That, it's like you said, it's 4 years of college, if you want to go to the highest point, and beyond if you want to go to graduate school.
Which is messed up.
It's 12 times out of the year.
You're
gonna-
I thought you were done. Sorry.
12 times out of the year, I mean, throughout the entire time, you're saying.
Yeah.
Man, listen, freshman year is stressful, but when you get to that point of graduating, that's the most harsh time for most people, because you have to cram in all this information to take finals and stuff, whatever. I didn't finish school, so I don't know the stress, but I've witnessed it, and that's enough. I seen the stress that you had to go through with school, right? So that's something that needs to change. But to speak on a broader scale about mental health, I think it's important that black men really, really focus on their mental health. Because I know we spoke about the struggles of black women, but the social issues that black men have to deal with
It's hard.
is astronomical, right? But what's even worse about that is socially it's not accepted for us to, 1, be sensitive, 2, cry out for help, and 3, show vulnerability. Society forces us to have to be strong, with our mouth closed and our heads down.
Hold on, let me say something. Just off of that right there, it's like we're taught to be like that. So it's like if someone's going through something, they just think, oh, it's like just regular life. They don't think it's something. You know what I'm saying? They don't know to cry out. That's why, and going back to the 12 times a year of the thing, and I was just saying, like, I was thinking, like, dang, on the flip side, it was like, dang, 12 times a year, 12 times your whole time there, but it's like, dang, think about how many people actually go to that school. It's like, dang, they probably don't have enough manpower for that. But then I was like, dang, what's the solution for that? Then I was like,
Dang.
what if
Sorry.
I was thinking the same thing.
Sorry.
the solution, like, I was thinking about a solution. I'm like, maybe they can, like, have like parents and other like educators and stuff just go through like classes on like how to talk to someone with mental health and how to help them kind of get through something. That way you have more counselors like at home instead of. But then the parents are probably messed up too.
That's what I was
I don't
about to
know.
say. It's gonna be tough because the parents need therapy as well. I mean, they had different challenges growing up, and it was probably harder for them back then than it is for us now. I feel like our resources are more abundant compared to back in the day.
I just feel like mental health probably wasn't talked as much back then.
No, when you thought of mental health, people thought you were crazy.
Yeah,
They didn't
exactly.
like
They
now,
thought you were
there's
mad.
a different stigmatization on it.
Mhm.
But before,
Maybe.
when you thought mental health, you thought they were crazy.
Oh.
Right.
Cause you know what? Like I've heard of mental health, but I didn't really hear it until the whole Kanye situation.
Nah,
Maybe he did that.
Really?
Maybe he acted like that for a reason, just so people start really taking it serious.
nah,
I mean, if that was the case, I'd have more respect for him.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't, cause you don't. That's not something to play with. You don't, use mental health as a ploy for
Because
anything.
maybe he really does have mental health, and he just really wanted to make it aware and actually like start having people actually being more sensitive to that.
I agree, but that was just what 2-3 years that Kanye started talking about that. Like people been talking about mental health like for a little bit before Kanye, but to answer your question about I was talking to you about it. I see all these schools doing all types of fundraisers, and we had this conversation before. They do all types of fundraisers to raise money for all these other sections of the school, academically or athletically. Do the same thing for mental health. Mental health awareness, raise some money so that you can offer, I don't know, salaries to more students and teachers. I don't feel like schools really focus enough on mental health.
No, it's a
They
fact.
focus just enough.
Because, like, there's people, like, some families don't have insurance. Just bluntly, just don't have insurance. So where is that kid now supposed to go to have an outlet?
Yeah.
They have their school, but now their school isn't offering it no more. So now what they supposed to do? Now they're going to find other ways to cope with what they're going through. And then it's just a whole domino effect from there.
I want to touch on something that, I want Tawana's in the chat. I want to touch, she said, parental involvement is key, and I 1,000% agree. That's extremely challenging in this generation because in this generation we have kids raising kids. We have younger parents. I mean, in this generation, in the past 5 years, no. But if we're talking about kids that are 15 and up, 20 and up, their parents are relatively young. So they're still themselves trying to find themselves, trying to get themselves together. So it's really difficult for them to, in return, make sure that their kid is mentally stable when they're themselves are trying to get themselves together.
I just had an idea, like just on the like the cop side, right? I feel like every cop should have mandatory, like a psychiatrist talk, like you got to go like 3 times a week and talk with them. But I feel like that's a big help in communities if we actually had police officers that actually connected with communities, and it's like actually knew people by name and stuff like that, and could talk to these young people, and where we're not looking at the cop like, oh, he's about to mess with me, but he really wants to help me.
Yeah, one of the biggest issues we have, like you said, is cops not having the same beat. They're on different streets and communities that are not theirs. You put in white cops in these neighborhoods, they don't know anything about these neighborhoods.
That's another thing.
So they get frazzled and scared when they're in certain situations when it could be easily resolved in a peaceful manner if they understood the culture. But they don't. So
That's another thing. I don't feel like, exactly, if they're not from that place, even if they're not from that specific place,
they're from that
they
culture.
might not even be from the culture, but I feel like, so like if you're in the hood, like you're in the streets, I feel like you shouldn't put a cop out there, especially if they never dealt with like inmates in jail, and like, cause I've seen both sides.
I don't know, because I've seen people. I know cops that dealt with inmates and they treat them dirty.
No, I mean, but there's certain, but anybody who knows there's a certain level of respect that goes, for some people it's not, but there's a certain level of respect, but it's like, if you understand how people move and you just show a little bit of respect, a lot of people show you respect. And I feel like if they learn that, instead of just coming straight from like you know, let's just say like Crackerland or something like that, and just come straight to the hood, they gonna be like, yo, what the heck is he doing? Because he's not used to seeing people move the way they move. Like they're not used to, you know, I don't know.
There's a flip side to that.
Like today I was watching Instagram, and I seen like this little kid getting locked up, like 7 years old. Like everybody's just like standing around watching them getting locked up. I'm like, it should be something. Nobody was dead or nothing like that. But I'm like, somebody, if we had one officer that knew that little boy, they would have just been like, yo, talk to him, take him back to his mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, what could have he done? Even if he messed around and tried to steal something. Like, he's 7 years old. Like, what could he really do?
What does working in the prison help them, though?
Because I feel like it gives them a crash course on what to do and not to do.
So you don't think officers that worked in prisons have PTSD?
That has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
It has everything to do with it. Because PTSD can directly affect how you deal with people.
Well,
how you're triggered by certain situations and how you react.
What I'm saying is, I've seen officers come in, act a certain way, and then their whole perspective changes. And now it's more like, I work with you, you work with me, instead of I'm just authority.
Is that a majority though? Because I feel like the majority is not like that.
What I'm saying, it puts it on a mini lab to see if they work out for that environment. If they don't, then they get out instead of being out here really messing up people or killing somebody.
I see what you're saying. I'm just not sure that them being in prison is a good crash course for them dealing with people in the public, because you got to understand that environment. Yeah, it's crazier than the public. So you would think dealing with that, then you can deal with this. But I mean, officers that have to deal with inmates like that, first of all, that's a whole nother lifestyle, right? Like at some point, that's something that we got to speak on more in depth, like that culture, right? Because a lot of our brothers are coming out of jail, and that's something that we got to talk about more deeply. But these officers, man, like they go to these jails and they come back on the street. I have 3 friends that's cops that work for the NYPD, right? One day I'm gonna get them to come in the chat to speak about this. But you go to these prisons, right? And then you come back on the street. A lot of these officers, like I said, they have these triggers that they get from the jails, that they get from the prisons, and they inflict it upon people. And a lot of times it may not even be intentional. They just may be triggered and don't know how to handle that trigger. That's a mental health issue that needs to be taken care of. And like I agree with Tawana. She said public servants should have more counseling. I 1000% agree with that. And when you said they should have see a psychologist, I agree. A psychiatrist, I agree with that. They should be mandatory that they see a psychiatrist, because you can't deal with people if you don't know how to deal with people. If you know, I'm gonna take that back. You can't deal with people if you don't know how to deal with yourself. So if you sit here and you don't know how to get out of certain situations for yourself, why are you sitting here being a public servant? And that's what we have. We have a lot of people that don't know how to deal with their own life, but they want to sit here and enforce laws on the public.
It's like they just want bodies, not people that care.
Right. Which is the overall why mental health is important. Like a lot of people think, you know, with the whole, you know, society feels like, you know, oh, they'll get over it. It won't last that long. Like, that's still a stereotype on it, that it has to die, like, immediately, if not sooner, because mental health is the cause for many unnecessary deaths that happen. I'm not even just speaking, you know, African American deaths. I'm just speaking in general. So mental health is so important, and I really just need people to like take that so seriously. Like, and even if you have to start with yourself, even if you feel like, oh, I'm happy, like I'm good, like trust me, just take the time to just really dig deep, just to make sure your mental health is okay, and then you work with the people around you, your family, your friends, whoever it may be, you know. And I kind of just want to, I'm gonna leave it at that, because, you know, we can get deeper into this.
And I want you, let me just touch on one more thing that Tawana said. She definitely made a good point by saying then the cops are not the only ones who need it. The only reason why we were speaking cops was when you think about the leading causes of death in our culture, in our community, right? It's not coming from no other public servant than the cops.
Mhm.
Firefighters aren't killing us.
Mhm.
Ambulance aren't killing us. It's the cops that
And
you
then-
see on the
and
news.
well,
that
I
is
just bring up that
killing
they're not
us.
the only ones, but then they're the one they're directly in our communities. They're directly active in our communities.
They're the ones that we operate with on a day to day. Like we see and we interact with on a day.
Theoretically, they're like they could be like our little like if we had somebody to vouch for us, it should be like that. And I feel like if we start changing that perspective about that, they'll be more open to talk to cops, and that'll change the mindset of the youth, and they'll grow up and start teaching their kids how to talk and how to evaluate situations and not act out on different situations. And I don't know, it's just to see some type of change like that would inspire a change, I think. Why not?
Sure.
I'm gonna just let's end it on this then. Let's end it on this note. Let's wrap it up. I'm not surprised that a system that wasn't built to secure our safety has failed us. Not surprised.
For sure. Because it's still very tainted. So, I'm even in what Edward said. The whole system needs reform, and it's a fact. So, yeah. Mental health is important. Alabama, you suck.
Florida,
You
you
have
said.
no right over a woman's body or choice.
We didn't find out who made that decision. Was it like a vote?
It was a vote.
With who?
There's a picture with all of them on there.
Mm-hmm.
White
all
people?
the white people. Yeah, of course.
For sure.
All white, we said it. All white men.
I'll tell you what we really should do. I ain't said.
Let's wrap it up though. Let's wrap it up.
That was my wrap up. I just had to let Alabama know they tried.
Yeah, we could talk about this all day. Yo.
Facts.
Number one, take somebody under the wing, inspire them, spread love. That's all it is.
And work on yourself, because you never know who's really watching you and inspired by you just doing you. You never know. So just live a good life, man, and just
Love
Inspired.
is the answer.
You're no good to nobody if you're not good yourself. So you just gotta
for sure.
make sure that's in check. And that's it. Yeah, anything to say?
Shit.
That's it.
Ditto, kiddo.
Bow.
It's been real.
Yeah.
What?
What?
I
Everything.
still didn't hear nothing. I still don't hear nothing.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's social
follow
media.
us on Talk Cafe on IG. Boom.
You know
Well,
what I'm
follow my social media, Junior the Future, JUNIORDA Future,
saying? Names,
and Twitter too. Same thing, same handle.
names _ KAYLA. Same Twitter.
And Young Pa 07.
You know me, Mr. Gotta Be Seen, Gotta Be Heard at the Real Nate Hustle. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a
Check out my food
psychiatrist for this
videos.
show.
I'm about to start.
We need a psychiatrist for this show. I'm having PTSD right now.
What do you need? Yeah, he said you had PTSD now.
PTSD right now.